Greetings, players. As your DM, it is sometimes necessary to augment the thread of reality to ensure a balanced playthrough. Last session, the party was forced, under penalty of death, to sign contracts of a nefarious and dubious nature. It was hasty on my part to introduce these so early and in the manner in which they were administered. That, coupled with the fact that such contracts are typically signed willingly, with the terms laid out, the risks explained, and the benefits, their powers bestowed, clearly spelled out, so the contract's recipient is informed, thus making the contracts cosmically binding. This was not the case here. It was a decision made by me that I now regret and wish to correct for the sake of fairness in the flow of the story. And so, in light of reflection and ruling, please open up your memory notebooks, flip to the scene of the crowned collectors in court being forced to sign contracts, cross out the word contract, and replace it with collar. Instead of a random selection, you were all presented with leather collars to don, similar in styles as to the one seen around town. This was not negotiable. This was in part terms of your surrender and punishment. However, I will allow anybody that wishes to roleplay that interaction with law enforcement. If not, we can pick up from there and continue. But just a bit of added explanation that contracts are funny, and the contracts that these were meant to be were something that, in both logic and lore of D&D, something that needed to be entered in willingly, and definitely explained as to the risks as well as the rewards. It doesn't seem like you guys were really rewarded with anything, powers or influence or anything that a contract like that should also provide for, instead of just a binding document. So, standing in front of the court, what you see is kind of a scene like this. And from behind, you are surrounded by one wrangler for each crown collector. And they do present you, 6 others present you with these collars. And they're, like you've seen before, there's no real uniform to them. It seems some of them look new, some of them look used and ratty. Some of them are very nice. They're all different, mostly just leather and leather colors. But there's some like yellow leather, and there's one that's kind of a light amber, and So, is there anything anybody would like to do in response to these collars being presented to you? If not, we do pick up from there. You don't feel any different once the collars are placed around your neck. They fit almost comfortably. You do notice that they're there, and you get the feeling like it's going to probably take time that you probably don't want to spend getting used to it, but it's not uncomfortable or painful. You do feel kind of a slight itch, like kind of at the back. Maybe there's some stitching on the leather or something that's bothering you a little bit. It's relieved with a rub of the neck. You are led to down the aisle back to the jailhouse, where the journey to and from the jailhouse, because the jailhouse is not on the court. It's a little further east of town. And placed into your cells, you do spend the evening kind of contemplating what's going on. You hear a hushed, sort of as reserved as possible, weeping or sobbing from Axton, who is rolled over on his side, cradling his arm, no doubt. Is there anything anybody would like to do as the night comes to a close with all of you sort of on the prospect of...
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yep.
Okay, sorry, it wasn't lighting up. Does he have his arm back?
He does not. The last you saw of him before being put into his cell was that his just at the bicep before the elbow, where it was severed has been healed, and the wound has been closed and stitched, and the scar has fallen off. Like, it's been fully healed over the last 24 hours magically. As of have the rest of your wounds. Kravish, admittedly had part of his head damaged, but it was healed, and it took considerable effort on part of the Sisters of the Star to repair. He was actually able to get his horn to be regrown. So he kind of lucked out, where Axton and a missing limb, it's a lot more damaging, and it, your best bet is to seal the wound and stop the bleeding, which is what happened.
Gotcha.
Yeah, his kind of like Dapper Dan long sleeve tan shirt got sort of pinned up to his shoulder.
Sorry, trying to see if there's a way of increasing my mic sensitivity here, because
I can hear you fine.
Okay, because I was talking and nobody was hearing me, and I wasn't
Steph
even
is
registering.
definitely muted. I don't know if she's trying to talk. Steph is muted, so is Ken. But
Okay.
we can move on if need be. So.
Okay, she says she's good.
I am good. I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means either. Anyways.
She's good.
It's working fine, y'all. That's what that means.
We can hear you. We can hear you now. All right. While pretty much all of you, fully healed though you are, it's been quite a day, and that night you each do have sort of a reflection or vision or thought or memory that creeps up, and we'll just go down the Discord list. Baranor.
Gotcha.
You're pretty much just trying to contemplate what to do now. You do know that a big priority of yours is Luna, who is on the outskirts of town in the hollow of a tree with what were her pups. I don't know, has she ever had a litter before? That's something you would know.
No, this would be the first.
This would be her first. So, yeah, you do get the feeling that she's got this with the last sort of emotional connection you had with her. She seems busy.
Yeah.
She's got the taste of blood on her lips most of the time right now. Little fast-moving blood, pitter-patter of a heart kind of thing. But you haven't really felt anything from her in the last, 24 hours.
Sure.
What do you do when presented with that emptiness?
I'm going to do what I often do in this situation and try and overcome it with humor. And just make a kind of a wisecrack that, I haven't worn a collar in about 7 or 8 years.
Axton and Kravish kind of roll over in your direction. Baranor? You hear Kravish kind of call to you.
Yes.
Care to elaborate?
Yeah, you got something to say? Something happened to you?
I mean, I was married.
Oh, and Koza kind of blushes and turns away.
Yeah, I mean,
you've never really asked about my past, so yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, to each his own. I don't really like him, and you see Kravish kind of pull at his. He's wearing this, I think it was a yellow leather, and he's like, ugh, I wonder if they'll let us dye him.
Well, to be fair, this isn't as as enjoyable as it was back then. But there was a whole outfit that went with that. So,
right.
Oh.
Yeah. So
Maven has no idea what I'm talking about.
None, not at all.
No.
so confused.
They wear billowy robes at the mountain, the mountain that she lived. That's all they wear is billowy robes. Probably some the what is it, like the Buddhism monk kind of tight karate outfit sort of stuff, but that's kind of it. I feel like Maven would be really into like bootcut jeans.
You would be so intrigued by anything that wasn't like just oversized.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like anything that actually fit properly, she would be floored by. Sure.
Yeah. Baranor, the collars themselves, like you I'm gonna say that you're sort of, I would say Baranor's probably pretty curious about all of them in general. It's not a real cool thing for you to do to experience, as you know, a forced collar feels very slavery-like. So if you would like to make a insight check or investigation check as you kind of wrestle with these additions that you've been forced to wear.
As a couple of sessions ago, I likened it to cattle, essentially. Yeah. So, all right. So, perception check. We open up the roll 20s. There we go. Straight roll. Yeah. Okay. 25.
25. You definitely feel something about them that breaks the rules. You've got a very limited arcane exposure, but you do feel that these they have an energy to them that you have seen the room that you're in right now negate all forms of magic, and to have this presence around your neck, you do get the feeling that they're magical.
And they work in the non-magic field of the cell.
You kind of feel, you know how you have like a t-shirt, you reach around, you can feel the tag. You feel that in the creases of your own collar, only with your bare hand. If you have a gloved hand, you wouldn't feel it. And you realize that it's very tightly curled.
Okay.
And it just feels strange / it's a collar.
Yeah.
Koza.
What is the buckle, the locking mechanism kind of feel like
around yours?
To Baranor, yeah.
Well, you didn't get a great look at it as they just wrapped it around your neck, and there's
feeling with my fingers.
You did see it as they were approaching you with it. It's kind of a silver or nickel, like shiny chrome little buckle. Very kind of simple. It's got a little bit of a extended loop, and as you kind of fiddle with it, you can feel that it is like a very simple leather buckle. You could probably pop it open with your hand. Like, it's not even complicated. With one hand, you could probably pop it right open.
Well, I think that's too easy, so... Interesting.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Okay.
Koza, the night comes to an end. You feel the lids of your eyes heavy, as well as your heart. An image in your head sticks of your daughter seeing you carried away in irons. So go ahead and make a wisdom saving throw for me, please. You can do it at advantage.
Ooh. Alrighty. Come on. I've dropped my mouse like 4 times over the last couple of days, so it's probably on its way out. Okay, that's not bad.
No, that's not bad. 23. You feel that heaviness and that cold sick in your stomach start to take over, and that's when you look down and you twirl that toothpick between your fingers that Lihor had given you as she dangled from the window and kind of tossed at you. And you pop it in your mouth, and you feel the feeling, and it's hard to describe, the feeling and the taste and the temperature of a steamy stew kind of fill your belly.
Can I actually get Willy Wonka?
Yes, very Willy Wonka. And as you kind of like pull the toothpick out, there's a little tiny bite mark on the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
If I put it back in my mouth, does it still taste like stew, or does it just taste like a toothpick?
Just tastes kind of like balsa wood.
Oh, okay. So it's a one-time use.
You can't seem to crunch it into crunch another little chew mark in it. It just seems to be like a little solid piece of wood. Gets the stuff out of your teeth pretty good though.
Okay. Well, I'll keep it in my mouth.
Yeah. So, you do actually through the bars of the cell. At the end, you notice the crescent moon. It's not upturned or anything. It's just a typical sort of maybe a few degrees on its axis leaning crescent moon. It's just a white surrounded by gray clouds that are illuminated by its light. Yeah. So, Maven.
Oh, we can't hear you.
Yeah, she unmuted.
I know. I can hear her talking.
You're going to hear her yelling pretty soon.
Probably.
Well, we'll come back around to her when she starts yelling.
We'll come back around. Yeah.
As you... Yep, there she goes. She's going to come back swinging.
Yep. Restart the computer.
As you're kind of like sitting in your cell, they've got like a very meager bedroll, but, as you sit there and contemplate, you start kind of like keeping up with, things just to try to occupy your mind. So I'd like you to go ahead and make a history check for me, and you can make that at advantage.
24
on history. All right, so I will place everybody on the map.
Oh boy!
On roll 20. Yeah. Right here, everyone can see the map of Valandiir, and I'm going to say that with you said a 24. That's a pretty good score. Where you are in the town of Cobb, you definitely heard rumors. And like I said, you got time to think. So you've been thinking about things you've heard in the area, maybe books you've read, and ancient sites yet to be explored as far as your order knew. You do know that here, the village of Ravenswood is a sort of a centuries-old kind of perpetual encampment. It's very high in elfish population, and you know that somewhere in that little nation there is a rumor of a sunken ruin, very Indiana Jones, and also here in the Stone Sift Mines, it's a dwarven stronghold, and you know that there's always been this long-standing rumor of like an offshoot civilization near the bowels of the mines, and that there was treasure there. You just weren't exactly sure what, so you have some time to put that together in your mind and store it away for, you figure you're here, right? Is there anything in particular you'd like to recall or learn about either of those two locations as you kind of roll over to go to sleep?
Sunken temple.
Right. Yep. It's a rumored ruin in Ravenswood. Not exactly sure on the species or race of origin. You just know that it was some like old god kind of thing, where the bottom of this ziggurat had sunken into the forest itself through some calamity, and it was a massive structure, and it's thought to be pretty much either almost completely underground or consumed by the forest or something like that, and who knows how far down it sank, not exactly sure. So I don't think we're coming back to Steph, are we? Nope, there she is.
There she is.
Yeah.
She's trying.
I'm trying my best.
Oh yeah. You are doing your best. So, Maven,
Yes.
You're sitting across. You're I don't know. Are you crisscross applesauce, or are you just sort of like leaning against the bars? What's Maven's sort of chosen position to settle in for the night?
Probably crisscross applesauce.
Yeah. Across from you is Kravish. He is what looks like kind of sitting against the back wall and sort of leaning into the bars, and he's got kind of one knee up and an elbow on his knee. And he just kind of looks at you, and his bandage on his head where his two horns are poking out, one of them is like pristine white. And he just kind of looks at you. Whew, hell of a day, kiddo.
Oh, very, very much so. She's still a little bit shell-shocked, I think. A little PTSD flashback, a little pale.
Right. What is Maven thinking in this moment as she processes this very aggressive behavior from the locals?
She is just unused to it in general, and so she's just really concerned. I don't think it's the right word. I think she's more very much like thinking about how to get back in their good graces. She's a little bit of a people pleaser.
Uh-huh.
That's what she's thinking about. And also just like a like a new mom or a new parent when they're not sure if the baby's going to be like breathing throughout the night, so they have to wake up every 2 hours just to look to make sure. She's going to be doing that.
Yeah.
Make sure that
Well, I'm going to need a medicine check, definitely. 'Cause you do kind of switch into caregiver mode, as even though there's not much you can do about it.
Yeah. 19.
19. That's not bad. That's pretty good. That's very good. 19 is enough to see that as he leans facing you, his big kind of. I imagine Kravish has kind of Godzilla feet a little bit, only covered in silver scales, and his foot extended. Just the place is so filthy, and so are the soles of his feet. Although that's common for him. He walks without boots. He just kind of has a hand on his knee, and it looks like he grabbed a piece of the hay and stuck it between his beak of his dragonborn face, and just sort of chewing on this little straw. And he's like, "Well, they took my journal, took my quill. It's going to be hard to write down all this and add it to my epic, so I guess I'll have to work from memory." And he is going to let's see, how many dies of bardic inspiration does he get? I think he gets 3. I'm giving him 3. I'm sure he's got more than that. But he's going to spend the next hour he's got a couple rocks, and he's just kind of tapping a little tune, and he starts humming a little ditty, and it's enough to sort of give everybody not a pep up, not a bump, but you guys are kind of in a situation now, and you're going to have to ride this out, and it's starting to sink in. You got 2 months in this place. But Kravish kind of taps this little ditty out, and as he kind of hums you all, you find yourselves heavy of heart and heavy of eyelid as your eyes close, and brings you to the conclusion of the night. You wake with a sort of a start. There's the scraping of boots all around the kind of left side of all of your perspectives. As 3 or 4 people are walking and scraping their boots along the stone floor. All of you sort of rise at different times. They're not being loud, but they're not being quiet either. You all kind of look over. You can see ribbons of light passing between the bars of the window nearest the wall, the outer wall. And as you're kind of shaken awake with your own realization of where you are, you guys can all go ahead and apply a long rest. And I just want to confirm, everybody knows that you've all leveled to level 12, character level 12, right? So if there's any features you guys haven't picked or anything like that, make sure you guys do that. Yeah, but you're kind of awoken with a start. So I need everybody to go ahead and give me a wisdom saving throw at this moment, please.
Doink. Oh, all right.
Nice.
Wait, why was that? Was that an advantage?
No, I think the wisdom save was before.
All right. And gotta do one for Kravish and Axton. And while I'm doing this, you guys can also go ahead and make a perception check. As you're kind of like getting the lay of the land. You guys are going to make a few rolls today. It's going to be a roll-heavy session. Yeah. That one was Kravish. This one is going to be Axton. As you all see Axton sort of roll over to his side, very sluggish, not quite inebriated kind of way, but head down, eyes kind of, his whole face is kind of pink and puffy, and you see him leaning on his good arm and just sort of pulling himself up the bars. Okay.
It's a 21 for Baronar, by the way.
Okay. Yeah. Good. All right. He just kind of rolls over and he kind of meets eyes with you guys. He's nearest to the gate kind of bars that are at the end of your cells. And he just kind of looks at all and he's like, so, how'd we all sleep?
Like we're in a jail cell.
Not well.
And, yeah, me neither. This is going to be real interesting. Working in a mine with one arm. And he just kind of leans against the bars as he greets the day and looks out at the Wranglers. There's 3 of them in the kind of common area of the jailhouse.
If anyone's strong enough to do it, Axton, it'll be you.
He just kind of looks back at you and he's like, you serious? Think I should?
I meant work in the mine with one arm.
Well, yeah. And he just kind of sort of scans around, and you all see Kravish is kind of still rolled over. And he just kind of looks at Kravish and he's like, looks like everybody got tagged by these guys, huh?
Yeah.
Looks like it.
Koza, you can see clearly now there's no scar where you were shot through the heart. Now, mind you, you're not wearing your armor. None of you are wearing your armor. You're wearing a simple traveler's outfit that they kind of like provided for you. But none of you are wearing your robes or your armor or your capes or any of that stuff. You don't have any possessions. So, I mean, no component bags, so no material-based spells would be possible. And no weapons, obviously. So, what you guys all kind of come to realize together is that this room definitely does not allow magic at all happening, aside from whatever's going on with your collars. And the locks that hold your cells closed are pretty decent. They're simple, but they're like pretty meaty. And it's about this time that one of the Wranglers kind of sidles over to the wall that kind of separates your cells with the rest of the building. He just kind of leers down at all of you, and he's like, all right now, on your feet. Time for your first day of work. Anybody got any complaints they wish to field with the sheriff's office? Go ahead and speak now.
Yes, the room service sucks.
I will pass along your suggestions and complaints. Come on now. And he's going to establish to the rest of the part of his party, the Wranglers, they all grab sets of manacles and shackles. clipping your hands together and then clipping you all to each other. You make your way down the thoroughfare and start marching to the docks. As you get closer to the lake, the horseshoe lake that surrounds Cobb's Peninsula, you are all ushered, the 6 of you, to a dinghy large enough for you and maybe 6 more people. Like, it's kind of a large paddle boat. And you are brought... Now, if we go to the map, we can see that Cobb itself, if I measured it right, the lake is about 8 miles, maybe 7 miles at its widest. And as you get into the boat, you can sort of see the horizon far in the distance where you see the other side of the lake. It's not so far that you can't see the other side, but it's a pretty wide lake, and you do see little spots of landscape dotting the lake itself, like little islands that sort of look sort of dark and vague in the distance. But you are brought into the boat. You're all sort of like chained to the boat itself, and you're all chained to each other, and you're brought into the distance of the horizon. You see the wranglers actually paddling this large rowboat out into the middle of the lake. So I need everybody to go ahead and make a either investigation check or a perception check. If you're better at either one is fine, because you are definitely not a fan of like riverboats. You've been attacked in them before, like twice maybe more, and you're definitely got your head on a swivel because you definitely don't want to go in the water. I need to have Sir Kervish and my boy Axton roll as well. Did you guys see that picture that video that Corey posted about him and the voice actor?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
That was very cool.
It was really awesome.
God damn it. Having trouble with my mic too.
Oh boy.
It's just
it's almost like it wants to go into sleep mode or something.
Mine literally shut off, and then when it turned back on, it wouldn't connect to the microphone. I had to restart the computer again. It was so weird.
You're doing all right now.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah,
good.
we heard you come back like 3 times.
Yeah, it was great. It was having a great time.
But like, if I don't talk for a bit, like, it just suddenly will not pick up my voice afterwards. I have to
Well,
it's too bad.
It means that you left forever.
I guess so.
Okay, so got a 17, Maven got a 21, Koza got a 21. A lot of low 20s. That's cool. It's cool. A lot of 21s. Holy moly! What's up with that?
Number of
With
the
a
day.
21,
Could go higher.
Group 21. Yeah, you could go higher. Do you want to go higher?
I'll add a D8. I'll go at D8 to that.
A D8? All right, 27.
27.
All right. So with a 27 and mostly 21s, I'm going to say that Axton doesn't see anything. He is visibly occupied and cradling his arms still. Like he seems very worried about this.
He's in pain.
Change in his. Yeah, he's in.
He rolled a 6?
Some kind of pain. No. He rolled a 10.
He rolled a 10? That's like a 23 for him.
Or no. Well, he rolled a 9, I guess. He's got a 1 in intelligence. He's not super smart.
Oh, okay. I thought he'd prefer a perception check.
Investigation. Okay. He's looking around the boat, and so is Kravish. So Kravish,
Okay.
Koza, Maven, you all do see, as well as you see it as well, that there is a slithering creature about maybe 7-8 feet long. It's about 30 feet away, just sort of gliding along the surface in parallel with the boat for about 15 minutes of your journey. It seems to get closer, and then it seems to slither away. you get a good look at it at some point, it's got kind of brown flesh with yellow kind of carp-like stripes along its body. It's definitely got like an eel-like mouth, and it unhinges itself as it's gliding along and just sort of like stretches it out. Is there anything anybody would like to do about that?
Not a whole lot I can do personally about it.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a whole lot I could do.
Just keep in mind your verbal spells. I do allow whispering, and you can whisper spells, I'm sure. Just keep in mind your verbal spells. No semantic, no material components, but take a look at what you know and decide off of that. You didn't feel that these manacles restricted your magic anymore. Like those of you who are magic users, you do feel that energy return to you. You can't do any semantic movements is all.
Okay. But this eel thing is in the boat or just outside the boat?
No. It's swimming in the water just outside, 30 feet away, and then it comes 20 feet away, and then it moves out to 40, and you feel like it is moving along with you as you are rowed along this journey across the lake.
Okay.
And
I'll keep it up.
Yeah.
I'll keep an eye on it.
Do you have anything with animals? Can you speak to animals? Or what about Koza? Can Koza do it?
I think I
can speak. I can speak with animals, but it has semantic.
Aha.
I think I can. I just don't think they can respond. Hang on.
You did get that right. Where the only thing I have is Hunter's Mark that is verbal.
Yeah.
Everything else is semantic. I only have one thing that requires material components, and that's Pass Without a Trace.
I guess druids can do it. It's speak with animals, and then he's right. It does take semantic movements. So you don't you don't get anything off of this eel that you can't really see with your eyes. Definitely following along.
Don't you have a furball ability to speak with animals?
Yeah, I can speak to them. They just can't speak back.
Okay.
Understood. What do you do with that information?
I'm not sure. I think I'll just I don't know, because it can't say anything back, so I guess I don't know if I should say anything, really. I guess I'll just say, we see you. Please don't try anything. Just please. It's not a threat,
Okay.
just we really don't want to deal with it.
That's the Koza
Make an intimidation check.
thing ever.
It wasn't a threat!
I know that.
I'm not trying
But
to intimidate it.
imagine a big
do get
giant
advantage
juicy
on
steak
charisma
saying that
checks.
to you. What?
I do get advantage on charisma checks if I use this ability on it.
Okay.
So, give me 1 second.
Technically, I can also speak at something telepathically, but it can't. If it doesn't know a language, it can't speak back.
Okay.
Hey, that's not bad.
But I'm not going to try that.
Average.
Oh, you're not going to try that? That'd be funny.
No. Well,
Do you reach out to
the
Luna?
wording. No, I need to sign. I believe I need to see them. No, this is the psychic whispers thing. This isn't my beast bond thing.
All right. Well,
yeah.
so intimidation of 10, it gets closer and is very bewildered by something. It's not smart enough to know that you just telepathically linked with it, but it definitely felt a presence in its head, and you see it kind of twitch and look around a little bit, but then continues following the boat. With a 10, I'd say you just mildly confused it.
I didn't connect.
I know, I'm talking to Koza.
Oh, I think his is out loud. I thought it's out loud for him, right?
I think it's out loud.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it doesn't say anything about telepathically.
Okay.
Okay, well, it has the same reaction, because it, I guess it's more than just talking to it in English. Like, it understands you, sort of, and it definitely feels weirded out by understanding you for a moment. Like, that's like seeing into another dimension for, 2 seconds. You're like, what the hell was that? Yeah. And as you're kind of having this interaction with this long eel, it sort of loses interest, drifts away, kind of pulls to the left. As you propel forward, you can see in the distance now a island that is filling up the horizon at this point. It's pretty substantial. It's the island itself is maybe 500-600 feet across, maybe even longer, maybe a quarter mile across. You do see a couple of columns of smoke that are kind of emanating from somewhere in the middle of the island. And it's about that time that you can feel sort of a pull on the boat itself, almost like it's riding waves inwardly into the island, towards the island. You can hear the sounds of industry. Maybe the turning of great gear wheels or ropes being pulled through pulleys. There's some kind of mechanical apparatuses being utilized at this place. Now, you're still probably around maybe 3,000 or 4,000 yards away from it, but you can definitely hear a presence at this place. For the next 3 or 4 minutes, you can see the wranglers sort of preparing the boat to be beached, and you do hear someone kind of shout as you guys do approach this island, which, by the way, it really did look smaller the further away it was. It is a pretty big island. It doesn't have a lot of vegetation. There's a couple of these stiff, just sort of evergreen trees that sort of dot the horizon a couple of places away on this island, but it's mostly pretty rocky. So, as you're pulled to land by a couple of people that looks like maybe wranglers or definitely some kind of staff of this place, you kind of are brought out of the boat. So what would you, I never asked, what would you say everybody's kind of marching order would be if you guys had a preference? Because you guys could have kind of moved into position as you were let out of the jail, hooked together. So what would you say everybody's kind of position would be?
Between Crevice.
Sorry?
As close to Crevice as is humanly possible. Or
okay. Yeah.
You're up front? It's not listening to you again, babe.
Everyone's muted.
I can hear him in the background of Steph's mic.
My mic is really good because we're literally across the house from each other.
Wow. It's something of a beautiful day, by the way. There's little puffy clouds in the sky. It's about maybe 7, 8 in the morning as you're kind of approaching this place. So in seeing this rocky island and being brought up the beach, everybody's feet gets wet, just unavoidable. And you find yourselves being led inland between these great big large kind of granite slabs that are sort of resting against each other in sort of a letter M formation, kind of. And there are large sort of pitons kind of pounded into it, and there's chains kind of hanging from these kind of railroad spikes kind of driven into these granite slabs, and it forms sort of a curtain as you pass underneath and between, and are led to a pretty interesting sight indeed. I'm definitely going to need some kind of a perception or investigation roll at some point from some of you as there are sort of clockwork workings, these big, huge gears that are being pulled on and spun by mechanical devices and pulled by chains. There's people kind of pulling on them, and you see these large ropes that descend from sort of an archway that's built over a huge gorge. It's about maybe 50 to 60 feet across this huge hole, and it's like jagged. It's shaped kind of like a star in a way. There's like protrusions that you can like see people walking across, and there are these giant chains that dangle from the arch, and there's pulleys and gears and people pulling on them and cranking them into pulling these mine carts and these platforms from this deep dark hole where there is kind of a glow. So I'm going to go ahead and need everybody to either roll investigation or perception. You can maybe, I think, if you want to, you can also roll history. And Axton is going to definitely be interested. Well, he doesn't know much. He's a farm boy. But he's going to be interested in it, that's for sure. As you're sort of led around this mine entrance cavity. 26 history. Nice. So, what you notice, obviously, is that some of these devices and machines that are moving large quantities of what looks like rock, you don't see like a lot of glittering or anything. It just looks like gray rock. And as you sort of study, the closer you get, is where you feel there's an assistance to all of this machinery. The closer you get to these gears, you can see some of them move kind of fast, but some of them move a little slower. You can see runes carved into the bronze of their metal. So it's something is assisting in all of this, where you can have just one person sort of pull on a pulley rope and a chain and operate this device. So the place doesn't seem as Stone Age as it seems. And let's see, Maven 12 perception. You're just kind of keeping an eye on Gravine. He is moving slow, and you find him kind of like dragging his feet, and like after a moment he kind of catches up and like skitters forward and then slows down again and kind of gives himself a break. He's definitely labored. Baranor, I'm gonna say that this is all this industry and all of these, like, there's fires everywhere and it's all stone. Like, you've been on the tops of mountains before where it's just mostly stone, so this is terribly unfamiliar terrain, but the industry is a little jarring for you. Yeah. It's,
I'm not comfortable here.
Sorry?
I am not comfortable here.
No. You can feel the heat of, like, forges that are where you see dwarves and men, shirtless, banging these hammers into glowing metal rods, and so it looks like some of them they're definitely not making weapons. It looks like they're making like metal spikes and almost like large, huge railroad spikes. These huge, giant, sharpened steel rods, and they're just kind of laying them as they cool in a pile of like dozens of them. And you look around, and the heat of these forges sort of feels uncomfortable on you. You can definitely feel the dirt and the grit, as none of you have bathed in, I don't know, 3 days, maybe more. And you're definitely like
the usual.
Yeah, especially for a ranger of the woods.
And how much travel we do,
Oh yeah. Of course, typically prestidigitate himself and others into not smelling quite so foul. But yeah, it's definitely uncomfortable here. It's a little intimidating. You hear a lot of hammering of metal. It looks like there's maybe a dozen, maybe 24 people here working on some kind of industry to keep this mine supplied and and working and things. You hear the scraping of metal as it, off to your right, there's a gear that kind of slips out of its pulley and slams to the ground and lands on someone's leg, and you hear ah, and that you see them kind of tending to that, and you're sort of dragged along further into the mine. You're kind of ushered onto a moving platform that's kind of sort of got a basket architecture to it. Looks like it can hold maybe 12, maybe 20 people. And you see two of the Wranglers break off, and one of them kind of stays with you. He's holding the front, whoever's in the front. He's holding your manacles and keeping them from moving and not really looking at you too much. But being this close, I will show you this. As you are pretty close to the guy, so you should see exactly what he looks like. He does have a strange glow to his eyes. Now, you didn't notice this before because most of the Wranglers kind of keep to the shadows, and this is a very dim glow, very dim color. But you do see really what he looks like now. So I'll say that Axton gets a real good look at this. Koza, you also get a good look at this. And Maven, peeking behind Kravish, you also do get to see this guy who looks like this. He's kind of holding on to one of your all's handcuffs. Kind of a strange pinkish purple glow behind his eyes. Very dim, very low, very dull. And after you and maybe 3 or 4 other people, you can see people that are working on these devices, these pulleys, these ramps, these chain baskets being lowered and raised. They all have collars, every single one of them. And these do not have chains around their hands. They obviously have to work. You do see one of them that looks like he's not moving around too much. He's manning a lever and just kind of jumping up and pulling on it and then letting it go. He does have like ankle manacles, but there's a few people like that. But most of the people around here are wandering free and able to work. He pulls this lever as you all are lurched downward. You kind of feel yourself jump up a little bit. But the descent down is relatively smooth. Would anybody say any of you have been in a proper mine? I don't remember if you. I don't think you guys have visited a mine while in this campaign, but aside from being underground, you've been to the Underdark, obviously, and with your previous roles of perception, I'll say that it's strange being in a man-made kind of underground dwelling, but it's definitely an artificial environment down here. There are straight carve lines and things move in like right angles, and you see little tunnels disappear into the darkness about every maybe 5 or 6 feet as you descend this 60-foot wide hole in the ground. But you do kind of eventually, maybe after a full solid minute of being descended of, maybe 5-6 feet every second, kind of being brought downward, until you come to a rest. It is subterranean here, so it is cool. You all feel a little chilly. Most of you are wearing just sort of, like I said, light traveler's clothes. And your chains, instantly, you can feel them sort of absorb that chill in the air, as you guys are pretty far down right now. So I need everybody to go ahead and make a wisdom saving throw. And if you are proficient in... if you're proficient in, like, con saves. If you're proficient in con saves, you can roll your wisdom at advantage. Pretty good so far. I need one from Koza. And I'll roll for the boys.
Damn.
Yeah, if you're proficient in con saves, then you get this at advantage. As you the whole work area around you shifts in tone. It goes from like this toiling sort of uncomfortable grit and grime above, and like kind of everyone covered in like grease almost and sweat. Down here, it's very dusty, and that's pretty much what everyone seems to be. Not covered in it. You don't see people walking around like war boys from Mad Max, but there is sort of a dust covering on everything, a light dusting, as they say. And this is when you really meet what looks like the workforce of the mine. It's not like filled with thousands and thousands of miners or anything like that, but you do see in this immediate area, and you're in like a domed cavern now, probably maybe 60 feet high, maybe 100 feet across, and there are a number of like staging areas with crates and people working at benches, and you see people. You can hear the tapping of stone on pretty much every surface of this area. You see tunnels disappear in all kinds of directions. You see people moving in and out of them. There's a plethora of races here. There are dwarves, humans, halflings, and elves. There are a couple of large half-orcs of different lineage that sort of pass you as you approach here. The Wrangler grabs your chain and leads you into a chamber. As you can see, that this is definitely a place where things are crated and brought to the surface. Doesn't look like anybody's really working on anything except stone, this gray rock. And you see that most people here are shaping them with chisels and making like fine blocks. Not necessarily like a marble block, but a granite stone cube of some repute. And you're brought to a side chamber. And you're kind of chained to a wall. There are torches all around. They slide a door closed. And you hear them the guy who had you sort of walk away. You can hear sort of like mutterings of conversations sort of in the distance. But it seems like this room is completely empty. There's no benches or anything. There's just the locked door, and you're in almost total darkness, except for like I said, there's a torch at the end of the chamber, and it looks like it's caged. You can't really get it out unless you break it. What do you all do in here, as you are all still chained to each other?
I guess we just wait to see where we go, or where we're supposed to go.
Right?
Yeah. I don't know what to do with my hands.
I mean, our hands are manacled, right? So.
Yep. We actually sit here for some time. Maybe 10-15 minutes. You kind of witness people milling about, carrying pickaxes, hammers, small tools, chisels, and everybody seems to be without manacles.
What's the stone look like? Is it just regular rock looking stuff? Is there any, I don't know, veins of anything popping through?
Well, I'd say that Baranor, you've definitely scaled your fair share of mountains, and you've seen rock like this before. It is kind of a higher quality than just like dirt stone. Looks like it's definitely some kind of granite. Very good for making stone embattlements. This kind of stone is perfect for being cut up into blocks and building a wall with it. So I'll say that none of the shapes of the stone that's being produced that you've seen match anything you've seen in town.
Okay.
There are no walls like this. There's no castle. There's no bridges that are built like this across the lake.
Mm-hmm.
There are two bridges that you already know about on the lake, and they look like they're made of like dock material, only bigger. Like it's mostly wood.
Right.
But as fine of stone as they are, you don't really see a vein of any kind of metal or anything like that. Occasionally you'll see like a faint little lightning bolt of like darker stone through them, but for the most part it's all just kind of like a boring gray.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll recall and kind of share with the group when I was scouting out the town, did overhear something about
an accident in, I would assume, this mine, where 3 workers died. Guess where their replacements. But that the accident would hurt the timber production or timber deliveries or something along those lines. So I wonder if they're maybe trading this stone for wood from somewhere else.
Kirby's just kind of scratches his head and he's like, well, that's a theory. Certainly would, I guess, slow down the production of stone. Although I see a lot of people here. I can't imagine just 3 guys would. I don't know.
I don't know. That's just what I heard, and I was confused at the time. I was confused at the time of why a mine production would stop the timber from coming in, but if the timber is the exchange for the stone, that makes a little bit of sense.
You think the mine is sort of an even exchange for goods and services?
Something like that.
Well, maybe. We should keep our eye out. I think we should figure out, who's in charge here. At least know who they are. I think that the more we know about this place, the better. And, well, I don't know. It kind of looks like everybody's sort of walking around on their own. And, I mean, and you see Kirby's just kind of looking through the bars, and he spots what looks like a slowly pacing, sort of half ogre, half orc, not sure, just a big guy. And he's got, like, fangs instead of tusks, so they kind of droop down from his mouth. And he's got big pointy ears, like a fey kind of creature. And he's just pacing. He's got his hands on his belt. He's got a big old gun, and his brow under the shadow of a hat. He's like, I see guards pacing around, but everyone's just kind of walking where they want. So I think maybe we can take advantage of that.
Well, the people I overheard were talking about that they weren't going to get paid because of the shipment not being coming in. So I don't hear too many indentured servants being paid.
Right.
So must be some kind of volunteer force in here as well.
Or there's maybe kind of like a caste system where you got prisoners like us and then maybe people who work for pay, although I don't know, I'm looking around, I see everyone's got a collar on.
I don't know. I heard a name, I think it was a name, of Race.
Right, that's right, you did. Well,
he was going to Race was going to raise hell because of the timber not coming in or something like that.
Something like that.
Wonder if they're in charge of the mine or something.
Or, yeah, maybe. Race definitely sounds like someone to keep an ear out for. And so, I don't know what they're going to do with us, but we should definitely kind of keep our ears open, our eyes open, and as long as we get to sort of interact every day, we should find someplace in the mine and meet somewhere at a certain point. I don't know. Do we have the ability to tell time? I can't really tell here. It's getting kind of like where they're only torchlight.
I don't know. I don't know if they're going to return us to ourselves or what, or we're just going to live here.
Well, if
we kind of suck to go across the lake every time.
I don't know. I don't see them bringing all these people back every day. There's 100 people here, maybe more.
Yeah.
That's a lot of rowing. I'm thinking we're probably here for a little while.
All right. Sounds reasonable.
And Axton kind of straightens up and looks through the bars and he goes, we also need to find out if there's some kind of, I don't know, resistance or gang or somebody that we can meet and, I don't know, maybe not befriend, but you know what I'm trying to say?
Yes, but let's not do that obvious and not on day one. Definitely keep our ears out if there is some stirrings of malcontent or whatnot.
And you hear Someone approach and rap the bars with the back of their hand. What's this about malcontent? And you see that wrangler who brought you here. He kind of unlocks the cell. He's like, all right, back up now. And he grabs the chain that sort of runs throughout your whole group. Everyone's wrists are like kind of hooked to it. And he unlocks a little lock at the front. Drags that chain out. You're all able to now separate and walk around. And he's going to one by one unlock everyone's manacles. I'm going to need Yuno to go ahead and run a Arcana check for me. And also Koza, too. And I will definitely have Kravish do it. He's very magic-y. But let me get an Arcana check from you guys, please.
Aww.
21.
21. Okay. Kravish also has this feeling where he kind of sits down and you see him rub his fingers together as the Wrangler is busy removing your manacles. And you see Kravish kind of rub his fingers together, and a little spark pops in his hand. You see the Wrangler jut over to him and he goes, all right now, we live down here in something like the honor system. You don't start no trouble with you magic users, putting yourself at a grave advantage over others, and we won't have to take action against you. You'll find that you won't be able to do that much damage even if you tried anyway. And with an Arcana check of 21, you can tell right now that you are limited to level 1 spells. That's just a feeling that you can feel the energy sapped from you, and you feel that something on the back of your neck on that collar is sort of like putting a resistor across the leads for your magical output, and there's a restriction happening. You can definitely feel that level 1 spells are possible, but really nothing more than that. And you have, full use of all your cantrips. Same goes for Kravish, Koza. You definitely don't understand, but you do feel the magical energy slowly and little by little returning to your fingertips. The Wrangler kind of spins around and opens the door, and you see this. And mind you, the room you're in, it's like 20 feet wide, maybe 30. Dimly lit, and so a couple of torches enter the cell room with a very large kind of human. He's got a very huge gut, and he's got a long kind of Fu Manchu brown mustache dotted with salt and pepper, and he's wearing sort of a leather cap that droops down in front of his ears a little bit, and he says, all right, I'm this section's jailer. My name is Griffin. If you have any need, please don't hesitate. If you're hungry, if you're sick, if you're tired, if you just want to take a break, maybe pop a potion here and there, you just let me and my guards know, and we will accommodate each and every one of your requests. And he just kind of, and mind you, a couple of you, like Axton is sitting down, Kravish is sitting down. You see him kind of like look at you all. All right, now on your feet. Come with me. It's time for your first assignment. And he's going to lead you all with a couple of guards on either side of you and one behind you. And you see the Wrangler kind of wave at you as you pass. He's like, y'all have fun now. You bring us back something shiny in that mine now, all right? And he's going to turn around and kind of and kind of walk away into the hustle and bustle of these lower levels of the mine. And you're being led to what looks like a staging area for getting into outfits or putting on boots or donning pickaxes or hammers and things like that. So at this moment, you're all going to be outfitted with a tool. Some would call it a tool. I'm sure some of you would call it a weapon. It is your choice. You can have a hand hammer, a war hammer, a pickaxe. You can have like the mechanics of like a war pick, but everybody's going to get a weapon right now. It is just up to you. Why don't you go ahead and you can look them up if you want, but put it in the chat of what kind of tool you want. It can be anything like that, very industrious. There's nothing flashy or gold trimmed or wood, beautiful leather handle or anything like that. It's all very utility. All right. Looks like is going for a hand hammer. What do you think? Anybody else? You guys still looking?
Still looking.
Yeah. There are benefits. There are drawbacks. I should also say that these are, no matter what you pick, they're all going to be considered simple tools. So everyone's going to be proficient in it because all you're doing is like swinging it.
Yeah.
So for damage and attack rolls, you can definitely add a proficiency to it because it's just a simple tool. It's really all it is.
These are all not in my wheelhouse.
Okay. You're going to see Axton don a pickaxe, and it seems like pretty heavy to him. You feel like he's kind of... It's pretty big. It's like, I don't know, the big pick is like 3 feet across, maybe less. Big wooden handle. He's kind of dragging it a little behind him, but he's picking it up and just sort of feeling the weight of it.
I think Baranor's going to go for a light hammer.
Okay. Let me switch up the mine music.
Hi-ho. Hi-ho.
Hi. Yeah, let's have a perception check from everybody, too. As the scenery changes, I think it's fair to have you guys sort of look around and take in your surroundings. Yeah. Okay. Like I said, rather roll heavy today, but that's all right.
Baranor's good at perception. What can I say?
Yeah.
Can you hear me okay,
17.
by the way?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you fine.
Okay. I switched to my earbuds for my phone because my headset was pissing me off. But they're a little bit too sensitive, so I notice it's picking up maybe the fan in the room. So if it gets
I don't
annoying,
think so.
I mean,
I have the same worry with my setup, but I think that Discord just kind of like it adds a little bit of grain to the point where it sort of flattens all that out.
Okay. If it gets bad, though, let me know. I'll switch back to the headset.
No, I don't think I've ever had problems hearing you. I think you've always had pretty consistent audio quality.
Right, but I've always been on the headset. This is the first time I'm switching to my earbuds.
Well, you sound good to me.
All right.
So these tools are, aside, we'll say that Koza, you're fine. Kerbish looks fine. He kind of grabs a big giant hammer, like a big sledgehammer. But Baranor, Axton, definitely. You guys are kind of having a little bit of trouble holding these things up. I don't care if you want to use Mage Hand to assist you. It does. I guess you could say it helps a little, but I don't know if you can make an invisible Mage Hand. But yeah,
mine is invisible.
Yours is invisible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'd say that looks like holding a hand hammer, and it doesn't seem to be it's not like a little hammer you get from the hardware store for us. This is a larger kind of mini sledge. And wielding it with one hand is possible, but you prefer to use two for sure. You kind of guys, you spend a few seconds sort of weighing the hammer and the pickaxes and stuff in your hands and getting the feel for it. Basically, these can be considered your primary weapon. And I also will not, just so you guys know, For semantic spells, I will not consider your hands busy. You'd still be able to do that if you wish, and still hold it at the same time.
Well, as long as for two-handed weapons, I'm guessing it's one-handed should be fine.
Well, yeah, but I'm kind of like I'm bending the rules a little. If you want to cast a spell while you're holding one of these things, it's not that big a deal. You don't have to be considered unarmed when you cast a spell. Just for all you guys' edifications.
Well, I thought for semantics you have to at least have just one hand free.
Yeah. No, I'm just like you can just like put it down on the ground, like head down, and like holding the handle with the other hand or something like that.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So, let's see here. Having said that, I am totally going to have Kravish cast a spell. What's it going to be?
Oh my god.
I'm feeling frisky. Let's see. Where's his spell list? All right. Minor illusion. Okay. So he is going to... You guys see Kravish holding onto his big giant hammer, and he just sort of like... puts the head on the ground and leans on the handle, and you see him twirl his hands a little bit. And about 13, 14, 15 feet away, you do see what looks like a little gnome with a long, pointy red hat. And let's see here. Can it move? I don't know. Can a minor illusion move? Can't create sound, light, smell, or any other physical interaction that may really be an illusion. It could be I guess it's just an image. Yeah. So you just see this little gnome. He's got like a blue vest and kind of a white shirt. He's got sort of suspenders, and he's carrying a load of diamonds, and they're just shining there just for a second. It's like, well, maybe we can find something like that out here someplace and buy our way out of here. I don't know. Where do you guys want to do and start? And, kind of get our lay of the land? I mean, we got to come up with some kind of plan while we're here. So provided there's a opportunity for all of us to meet up at some point during the day, we should kind of keep something in the back of our heads that we can work on,
Yes. How many of us are there? There's 6 of us, right?
Yeah. Currently.
Okay. I can connect 5 of us.
Okay.
Oh, wait. Does Maven and Kravish still have their earrings?
They do not.
That is a good question.
Just checking. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna say right now, if you guys want to take a note of this, and just keep it in mind, you have 0 inventory, but you do have a water skin. You do have a water skin. Everybody's got that.
Okay.
But yeah, that's it.
Okay. Damn, where's Atgear when you need him?
He's in his own mine.
I know. Damn dwarf.
Why? What are you thinking with him?
Well, he's a dwarf.
Right.
He knows how to mine. They all instinctively do.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, I'm pretty good with directions, but I don't know about the rest of you guys.
What was your last perception?
I said... What? Oh, 29?
Yeah, okay. I'm going to say for sure, you know exactly which way you're facing whenever, at any point during the day. You can have that.
Yeah. I don't think I'll get lost down here, but I don't know about you guys. So if we split up, which I don't recommend, but if we wanted to get a lay of the land, might have to.
Right. Well, I don't know what they got planned for us today, but what do you say we? You see Kravish kind of spin around and kind of take in this large chamber here, and he's like, "I guess What about over there? And you see him point to what look like a couple of benches, and you see benches all over the place and people working at benches. He's like, why don't we, I don't know, pick the nearest empty bench at, I don't know, maybe midday, if we can figure out what time of day it is, and meet over there and just kind of speak about what we've seen. If we get, unless we're able to work together. And it's about that point that one of the guards kind of stomps over to you and he goes, all right, here's the deal. Y'all got assignments. There's different places in the mine that you need to be working. We're going to split you all up. And then you hear Kravish under his breath just kind of go, okay, that answers that question. And he kind of looks down. You notice that he's got a clipboard. It's not a sophisticated clipboard. It's basically just a kind of a stone slab with a clamp on the top of it. It's holding a couple pieces of parchment. He flips through them. You're my new recruits, ain't ya? And mind you, he's kind of like a very tall, kind of a half-orc creature with sort of like a purple, like a lavender skin. He's got a couple stripes across his shoulder blades, and very big, very beefy. And he just kind of regards you all. Which one of you is Maven?
I'll just step forward.
All right, you're
Not
going
really
to be in the
saying
east wing. And he's going to kind of point you in the direction. You see a large letter E carved into a stone pillar with an arrow pointing away. And he's going to say, they're going to need you in the east wing. You're going to report to Robert. He's the one who's taking care of you and about 20 other people like you. And then he points over to Kravish. You're that silver bard, right? Well, why don't you skip your happy ass down over there to the Alpha site? They are in need of someone with your height and strength. And you see Kravish kind of looks at him and looks at all of you. He's like, strength? All right. And he's going to drag his hammer away. And you notice that he also doesn't completely leave. He just sort of walks in that direction, kind of walks towards Maven a little. You see him kind of glide his claws under your folded arm, and you're just like, you be good now, kiddo. Yeah.
She said something. I don't know what she said.
Did you say something, Steph?
Should give her a moment.
Aha. Technology brought to you by the CrowdStrike fallout. Did anybody get affected by that? Kenny, did you get affected by that at all? I know he's a big computer worker guy.
Sadly not.
Yeah, you had to go to work.
Yup.
Yeah, me too. Me too, man.
I don't know if it was related, but we had first the tablets go down and the phones go down, and then the cable went out at one point.
Oh wow! Did you have a storm?
No.
Huh.
They just stopped working, and it's a nice jail.
Probably related to
that. The inmates are used to having phones and tablets and the ability to watch a limited amount of TV. Yeah, it's supposed to be a recuperation. Yeah, they herald it as that more than an actual jail. So there's open dorms and stuff like that.
Well,
but they were not happy without those amenities.
I'm sure. Everything else they got to deal with also their internet.
Yeah. Well, the phones also went out, so they weren't able to talk to their families or anything.
Right.
Or even call for bail or anything like that. So.
I see that Andor meme you just posted, Bogey. Real quick, we don't got to go into it. I cannot wait for that to come back. That was probably the best thing to come out of Star Wars in like 5-10 years. Oh, I love Andor.
Andor is really good. I mean, I like some of the other series, but that's...
No, I'm a big fan of like Mission Impossible and stuff like that. Like, I like the clandestine stuff. That's why I really felt it was, especially the one in the prison with Andy Serkis. He's such a good actor.
He's a great actor.
He's amazing. It was fun. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, so,
Steph's
I'm gonna
trying to
say...
come back.
Okay, good.
Here.
I'm going
let me
to...
let me go to her. Hang on. Here.
Okay.
What do you want to say?
I don't know. My headphones
She hates
disconnected
everything.
again. I reconnected after restart the computer.
Okay, she's staying here.
Cool. I don't know.
Okay.
She
doesn't know.
She doesn't know. Okay. She's not back on yet.
No.
That's okay. So, Baranor, you and Axton actually get paired up, and you are sort of sent to a really, really, really deep portion of the mine. You kind of move, you're sort of hustled along by a guard who's like personally escorting you to where he wants you to go, just not necessarily to like guard you, but just more to show you where it is. And,
Okay, but before I leave the area,
okay.
I'm gonna look at everybody but Axton
Okay.
and connect us psychically.
All right.
So that
you
lasts
can't post
for-
that, can you?
Give me a second. I'll have it here in a second. And...
Just wondering
no.
exactly what the if there are any restrictions or anything. Can it go through like heavy stone? I'm guessing it can.
Okay, so let me post it here.
Okay.
Verbatim.
I think you're probably fine. There are no.
Within a mile of each other is what I see as
Okay.
the main thing here.
I'm gonna let it go because there's no okay, here we go. Psychic whispers. Yeah, I don't see anything like it can't go through stone or anything. So
Yeah, it says you and each creature must be within 1 mile of each other and speak the same language. I'm
Okay.
gonna roll a d8 to see how long it lasts for. 4 hours.
All right. Well, in your head, you hear. Is this thing on? Can you hear me?
So, yes, I can hear you. Psychically, I'll tell everybody this is like a relay. You guys can't talk to each other. You have to talk through me,
All right.
and I'll relay what you say to the others if you need to.
Well, all right. If Maven has anything for me, just let me know.
Will do.
And he's gonna kind of whistle quietly in your head as he doesn't really understand that does come through. So,
No, I mean, he has to focus it towards me. It's not like I
Right.
pick up all of this stuff, but
every now and then he's just gonna go beep.
need to change that that smoke detector.
Yeah. And speaking of smoke, you do smell sort of a sulfury smell, like a smoky smell. The deeper you go, you and Axton are escorted to what looks like kind of like an escalator of sorts, almost like a conveyor belt, but with like stepping stones that moves in sort of a steep angle downward.
Okay.
And yeah, the air grows kind of warm down here. It's steady. The deeper you go, the more you feel this warmth sort of take over that cavernous chill that you guys have been experiencing since you got to here. And you find kind of a series of tunnels that splinter off in different directions with torches lighting them, so it's real easy to sort of see around down here, but you feel this pressure. And I'm going to say that Koza and Yuno, you guys are also sort of kept together. And you're brought to sort of a nearby wing of the mine down here where you're at. And you're literally, both of you are given instruction that this face of rock that you stand in front of, it needs to be excavated. And to try and keep your the pieces that you dislodge as large as possible, like maybe even the size of like a barrel. Like really try and get large chunks of the stone out. You have a hand hammer, and Koza, you have a pickaxe. As you stand in this portion of the wall, there are a couple of prisoners on either side of you. Not terribly close. This area is rather large. So I would say you're right now about around a corner before there are any guards. So you and Koza, you and Yuno can both consider yourselves away from authoritative eyes. Is there anything either of you would like to do right now while you stand here?
None for me.
Yeah. Okay. Koza, anything from you?
Nope.
All right. I'm just moving stuff around here.
Okay.
And allowing dead air.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Thank God. Okay, maybe my headphones are just dead, because I just switched them out, so I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah,
Maybe.
maybe.
That's what I think mine was. I started charging mine.
Yeah, so Maven, you get directed to kind of a place where the hallways are like actually very decently chiseled and in almost a decorative way. And you do find yourself working a channel that's as you're kind of directed by a guard who sort of points the way, and you don't feel like there's maybe, I don't know, every second or so you're passed by 5 or 6 prisoners. Some of them are more dustier than others, until you're sort of brought down a kind of, like I said, geometrically carved. So you're not exactly sure why that is, but the further down this tunnel you go, the rougher it gets until it splinters off into like 5 or 6 different tunnels, and he just kind of looks at you and goes, "Pick one. Keep hitting stones until you find something interesting. If it's pretty and we like it, you may get special privileges." And he's just sort of speaking over his immense orc teeth. And he's kind of got what looks like a whip on his hip. And he also has kind of like a big club that sort of dangles down from the other side of his belt. He's got a long mane of black hair that sort of tumbles over his shoulders. A little bit of a mullet, like the top of his head is a little shorter and his hair falls down over his eyes. And he's got a big piggish orc snout that just sort of rests over his huge, like fence-like teeth that sort of protrude out of his mouth. "You work hard. You will find your life easy. But if you cause trouble, you will be killed. Do you understand?"
I'll just nod and walk towards the tunnel on the farthest tunnel to the right.
Yeah, and as you depart, he's like, "It helps the mind if you sing a song while you do it. Someone start a song!" And you see a few people kind of turn around and sort of look at him a little, and somebody kind of raises a hammer and then looks down at his pile of rocks. He's like, "When I was old enough to hold a hand," he just starts singing some mining song, and people start to join in, and it doesn't really help the mood a whole lot, but it's definitely an interesting. You definitely feel like Kravish is lucky not to be here. He would have some. He would have some things to say. But yeah. So Koza and Yuno, I would like you both to just go ahead and make an attack roll with your weapon of choice. Don't forget to add your proficiency, and for as far as a mod, I don't care if you use strength or your weapon mod or even your arcana mod. I don't care if you use that. That's fine too. So let's get an attack roll for both of you guys as you swing into large chunks of stone.
24.
24. How about you, Koza?
Hold on, my frickin' mouse is being dumb.
Jeez.
Okay, you know what? Screw this mouse. I've dropped it like 4 times, so it's probably on its way out.
That's what you said. You should throw it away.
All right, just a normal attack roll.
It's going to be with, like I said, your proficiency. So if you want to, you can roll. I guess you can roll your Moonglaive, because that's the weapon that you're proficient in. But we'll figure the damage different. With your hand hammer, why don't you go ahead and roll your damage?
6.
10, not so good. 6. All right, yeah, you put a pretty big crack in the stone. It looks like you sort of are able to separate the top of this boulder that you're standing in front of. It looks like you've definitely wedged into the rock face itself. You don't really sense anything special about this stone either. I know I've kind of already said that. It does seem like a rough granite that could be, processed into something smooth and strong. And with Koza with a 10, what do you got? A pickaxe? Yeah, that thing vibrates in your hand, and it feels like you might have hit like an iron deposit, because it just kind of like goes clank, and you see a little spark, and it just reverberates down through your hand, and just your hands are like on fire. It seems your area that you're working is maybe going to be a little slow going today, whereas is kind of hacking away at the top of this thing and chopping away maybe a softer part of the rock and isolating this stone boulder. But it's Baranor who sees somebody. Where you guys are at, you see Axton. He's like swinging his pickaxe with one hand and just very lethargic. He seems tired or over it. Not exactly sure which. And you two are sort of within 20 feet of each other, and you can see that the tunnel narrows and kind of goes uphill and disappears into darkness. And you can hear a skittering sound in that cave.
Oh no!
Sounds like large legs, like maybe thin legs, pointy legs, but you definitely hear something skittering around up in that cave, and it sounds like it's getting a little closer.
Okay. How well lit is the tunnel that it's coming from?
It's pure blackness, pitch dark.
Pure. Okay.
Yeah.
So even with dark vision, it's probably not.
Dark vision? You can see 60 feet down it.
Okay. Okay.
It's not magically dark. It's just dark.
Okay.
And you can see 60 feet down, so you see that it kind of disappears into what other people would call darkness, and then peaks uphill. And because of your dark vision, I'll say that you can see 2 beady little points of light in the distance. Maybe eyes width apart. And you just hear that spindly leg like tick, 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 tick. It sounds like it's getting closer.
Axton.
What?
We're not alone.
What is it?
We're not alone here.
And he kind of looks around, and there's like maybe 2 people in this area with you. A little further down, you guys are definitely in the back of this little wing. But there's a couple people maybe 20, 30 feet away, and he's like, I know. And you hear him lift his pickaxe and hit the stone again.
No, I mean...
You hear those legs, they start coming faster, skittering towards you, and your dark vision isn't able to make out real shapes, except that you do see legs. Large, almost insect-like legs.
Oh, no. I'm gonna cast Speak with Animals.
Okay, what do you say?
Who's there?
How does that work? Do you shout it?
I'm not sure. You gain the ability to comprehend and verbally communicate with beasts. Specifically beasts.
Let me look something up.
Okay.
Let me look something up real quick. That's on what I'm looking up. Gets inspiration. You're right.
I'm like, I know insects usually and spiders are usually beasts, but
yeah. There's no response. And you can now see what looks like a kind of a torso, abdomen, thorax deal skittering towards you. These legs are about maybe 7-8 feet up from end to end, like from side to side, and it's skittering now towards you. It's moving in a blur to the point where you can't really distinguish individual features through the dark vision, and then it pops out the other side, and you see this.
Oh no. Oh, okay.
The torso you saw, the thorax you thought you were seeing of some spider, is actually the tucked-in arms and limbs of a small, white-haired, bald gnome. He is surrounded by an arachnid-like display of wooden legs that extend out from sort of like a backpack on his back that sort of he's got clipped into it. And there's all these little gears and pulleys and moving strings that sort of, you see them sort of moving along the lengths of these little wooden legs that he's not actually walking himself. The legs are doing the walking for him, and he's just sort of hovering about 3 feet in the air. And you just hear him like tink, 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 kind of scaling the walls of this cave that he fills with his skeletal-like presence. And then he plops himself down on his feet. You see these legs just sort of fold upwards like wings on either side of his torso. And he's like, "Well, it's me. Who are you?"
You gave me quite a fright there. That's quite the contraption you got there.
Well, thank you very much. I'm sorry, didn't mean to startle you. It's I'm just using my legs to get me around a little quicker than you larger folks. And you see those legs kind of like extend out and grip the caves, and he kind of lifts him up about 2 feet, almost eye to eye with you, with kind of like a whining. And you can see like gears at every joint and little wires and pulleys that are kind of keeping this thing moving. Everything is really kind of directed behind him in this large wooden crate behind him where all the legs kind of enter. And he's just like, "Finkelstein's my name, but most people around here call me Fink. I've been expecting a couple of new recruits to occupy the tunnels with us. Glad to have you aboard. What shall I call you?"
I'm Baron North, and this is my good friend here, Axton. You want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, Axton is super next to you right now. Like it's like, well, he had his pickaxe held in his hand like he was going to throw it at something, or he was definitely poised to attack, but he's holding it with one hand and it's rather heavy, and he just kind of like lets it slip. He's like, "Whoa, those are pretty neat little gizmos you got there, Fink." And Fink just kind of does a little bow. He's like, "Well, thank you very much. It's a contraption of my own invention. And it helps me get around, and gives me the means to be on the same level of production as the rest of you big folk." Now, mind you, he's like 2 feet tall. He even like stretching out. He's very, very, very small. So these legs sort of extend his reach. And you see him kind of turn around, and he gives you both a nod, and you see two of his legs kind of pick up what looks like a large hammer and raise it over his head. And you see him kind of watching it, and he's moving. He looks like he's moving, his shoulders and his feet a little, and it seems to be affecting the movement of this contraption. And he takes the hammer and he smashes it down on the rock, and a few of the rocks dislodge. You see him put the hammer down and kind of pick through the rocks a little, and seems like he's sorting them. He's putting some of the football-sized rocks in a crate at one corner of this tunnel chamber that you're in. And,
those are really, really useful.
Well, yes, when they expect you to make the same number of rocks as everyone else, but you can't swing a pickaxe and you can't swing a hammer, you make do with what you can. My mind may help me produce these. They were kind enough to let me make them, and, they're not that powerful as far as a threat to the guards, but they help me in the mine.
Do we see that he's wearing a collar?
Make a perception check.
All right. Perception.
25. Wish to sweeten it?
I only have so many of these. I have 8 total. I've used 3 of them so far.
Okay. Okay. Well, 25 is good.
I have a pool.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't take you much notice as he turns around and starts manipulating his arms. You do get a better look at the contraption on his back. It is sort of a clockwork gizmo. There's a little tiny puff of smoke or steam that looks like it's erupting from an arrangement of small, like pen-sized pipes that come out the back. And there's just a little like a little tiny motor whirring sound that you can hear. And these legs are just kind of moving with great, not lightning speed, but they're moving real quick, and it looks like they're kind of getting him, around, maybe even faster than you could run. And he scales the wall, and there's like these little tiny wooden claws that grip the stone, so he can like climb up the wall and kind of gouge out something. It looks like he's trying to shape this large face and sort of divide it up, and he's just sort of beating into it with his hammer. He's also got a pickaxe on the other side of him. He's sort of like working in tandem and really kind of getting it done. He's producing quite a bit of rubble with this effort that he's making. And
Axton, this stuff seems like it'd be up your alley.
And you see Axton just sort of like slam his pickaxe into the stone, and he was possibly at a weird angle, sort of twists his elbow. He's like, what did you say?
I said his contraption looks like something you'd be interested in.
And he kind of looks at it, and he's like, what does that mean?
You like the techie stuff.
And he just kind of looks at you. He's like, I like to grow stuff. I don't know what you mean by techie stuff.
Like with your forging and whatnot.
And he kind of looks at it and he goes, man, that thing would not survive a forge.
No, but I'm saying, forget it.
And he just kind of looks at it and he's like, maybe would like it. It seems a little more gnomish, clockworky stuff. Than that's kind of, I think, more up his alley. I like to grow things and make things, and not with those kinds of moving parts. But, it's pretty cool. And he kind of sidles up next to you and he's like, how long did it take you to make that? And Fink kind of like, as he's working and swinging his axe or his pickaxe into the stone, he's like, oh, well, all together, different versions and prototypes. I at first started out with just a large arm coming out me back, and that seemed to be a little cumbersome. And then I added another arm, and then I just kept adding arms. I don't even think I'm finished adding arms. I'm thinking about 2 more in the back. And he's like kind of working, and you hear a couple of the other prisoners like, yeah, you should have seen him at the beginning. He was a right mess. And,
nice.
And yeah, so Fink just is. He doesn't look like he's in charge down here. And as time kind of passes, there's a break of you hear like a steam whistle in the distance somewhere. And it seems like the guards kind of filter through, and each of you, as you're, I'd say, and Koza, you guys are doing much better about kind of hollowing out a large boulder to be donated to the minecart effort around here. You guys have learned that that's kind of your job. You just got to free up big chunks of stone, at least where you guys are at, and send them on big minecarts, and you just continue that, and that's your day. Maven, you are definitely kind of meant to work in sort of one of the older parts of the mine. That's why the tunnel that led here was so well carved. It's been here so long that perhaps it had a different use before they decided to excavate it, continue mining through it. Your day just kind of goes sort of fine. You're very tired by the time the whistle blows. and it seems like there's a meal that you're all being summoned to a kind of like a congregating room with lots of tables and benches and stuff, and that's where we're going to take a break.
Okie doke.
Everybody's going to the cafeteria. You gonna eat your cornbread? Yeah. So it is 4:00 Eastern Standard Time.
Steph hasn't seen Life, so she doesn't get that.
Yeah. Well, has she seen what is it? Give me your his fruit cup. give me your fruit. If I give him my fruit cup today, I won't get my vitamins. Half Baked. Everyone's seen Half Baked, but yeah. So 4:15. We'll meet back here and get everybody some prison grub, all right?
All right.
See you in a bit.
Mhm.
Okay, cool. All right. Where were we? So, not a terribly large deal. You guys are served sort of a slop on a plate. It seems mildly edible. I will say definitely, Koza, you do not need to eat. Everybody else does, or you will suffer a level of exhaustion. Ha 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 ha. Okay. Why don't... Now, I'm going to say the room you're in, rather large. It is probably the biggest cafeteria anybody has ever seen. Not that a lot of you have a lot of experience with cafeterias. I think maybe Baranor, you've eaten in large inns before with the Syndicate and how far you've traveled. But that's kind of the extent of everybody's sort of eating experience is inns and taverns and houses and stuff like that. This is a huge dining hall. With just roughly hewn stone pillars. It's probably got a 40 to 50 foot tall ceiling. There are vents that sort of dot the ceiling above you, maybe 5 or 6 in the whole room. The room is easily maybe 40 to 50 feet wide, maybe even a little longer than that, as there are sort of like short tunnels that connect other rooms that looks like people might be getting their meals at. So this whole mine has a very ant colony kind of layout where there are these chambers that then disappear into tunnels, and those tunnels lead to other chambers. And you kind of did a little bit of minor exploring. I would say during the 3 or 4 hours that you guys were beating rocks, you've had your own recognizance. Would anybody in the party like to explore anything that you would have seen during the day if you just went on like a 10-15 minute walk?
Obviously, Baranor would.
Okay, so you can give me a survival check, and I'd also like a nature check as well.
Okay. I'll let him roll.
All right.
Let him ride.
Let him ride. Okay. Survival nature. Very good. Very, very, very good. So I'll say that...
That's what I do.
Yeah. You have a intimate knowledge of the southern portion of this really, really deep, deep mine. It does spider out into various chambers. There's probably about 12 chambers in the area that you were working, connected by tunnels. Some of the tunnels are really wide. Some of the tunnels are brand new, like the one that you found Fink in, and they haven't been fully developed yet. Like there's no torch sconces or anything like that. They're just sort of like in the preliminary stages of being excavated, that kind of a thing. But then there are thoroughfares that connect these chambers, and it does take you guys about 5 minutes to ride up this conveyor belt that goes connects to the rest of the mine. You guys are, like I said, you're very, very deep in this part. Maven, you're pretty sure that you've got this whole area figured out as far as the main thoroughfare and then the side chamber that you're in. Your main tunnel is much bigger than the one that you came here in. It's well developed. There are what look like dwellings in part of this area where there's you can see like windows carved and there's like torches in the dwellings and stuff. It doesn't look like it's like caveman stuff. There's some craftsmanship to this wing that you find yourself in.
Good night.
Hello?
Yeah. No, I was just disconnecting Kenku for a minute. I don't know. I can't hear it. I don't know if anybody else can.
I'm muted, so.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. It's very, very low. Okay. So, Koza and Yuno. Is there anything that you guys want to do as far as exploration or move around or learn more about your surroundings or anything like that? I will say that about every 10-15 minutes of your kind of first part of your day, a guard does sort of poke his head into this chamber that you're in, or this series of chambers that you guys are in, and you guys are moving around kind of all day. You did manage to free that boulder and send it on its way, and you moved along to another kind of granite vein where you're able to kind of carve out large chunks of it. So, yeah, if there's anything you guys want to do, otherwise you can just kind of finish that part of your day just focusing on your work. Kravish, you guys... Sorry, go ahead.
I'm just going to keep my head down and just hit hammer on rock. Make small rock.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, go ahead. Both of you go ahead and... Are you guys proficient in survival at all?
I think I am. Hang on.
Surprisingly, yes.
Okay, all right.
Yes,
You guys can give me a survival check at advantage. It doesn't take you guys long to pick up mining. Especially since you're not really trying to separate ore from rock. You're just kind of carving as big a chunk of rock as you can.
23.
Oh, come on.
13. Okay, so...
Jesus Christ.
You know, how's your sleight of hand?
So well in the beginning.
I mean, I'm pretty dexterous. I'm not proficient in it, but...
Yeah. So, you are pretty quick with this hammer. You're channeling some frustration, obviously, through your mining, but on your you accidentally kind of chipped into this thing and noticed that the boulder you're currently working on, about the size of like a nightstand, I guess. Like it's pretty big, but not as big as the first one you did. When you cracked it free, you noticed behind it as it started to roll forward a few inches, where you could actually get like a rope around it, and they got like mules and stuff that are pulling these things away. You notice behind it is like this little growth of crystal, and it's almost like a pinkish maroon crystal, and they're each about the size of like rolling dice. So you can, and there's a guard like 15 feet away, just kind of scanning all of you right now. He doesn't see it because the boulder is sort of in the way, but you definitely see it. And they're very, very, very shiny. Very, very pretty.
I'm going to grab them.
Okay.
Grab them and hide them.
Yeah, make a sleight of hand check. Or, if you have magic means of doing anything.
No, I can just use my mage hand. It's invisible.
Okay. So, yeah, that's fine. You can make a sleight of hand check. We'll say you can do it at advantage. Because while you can't make the jewels invisible, you can kind of roll them along the ground and up your
17.
Your 17? Yeah, I'll say you did it. That's good enough. It got kind of close. You saw the guard kind of walking in your direction, and you just kind of twist your body at the very last second and snake those jewels up your kind of like your shoe and into your pant leg, and you're kind of holding them scrunched up in your pant leg with your mage hand. And he just kind of looks at you, and he's like, "Why ain't you swinging your hammer?"
I'm going to turn back around and start hammering.
He just kind of grunts behind you, spins around, and continues his scan of the crowd. you may add 5 pink jewels to your inventory. Koza, you didn't do that good, but you didn't do bad either. It's not technically a failure. So what you did is you, in excavating your large kind of trash can sized boulder that's sort of jutting out of the earth, surrounded by softer stone, you're kind of like carving it out. And your pickaxe starts to become a little loose.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. You feel like you maybe threw the wedge out the top of it. And your boulder kind of gets, on striking there, your boulder kind of slides and rolls free and it hits the ground with a thud. And you notice that the head of your pickaxe is a little loose right now.
I'm gonna hit, like, the bottom of my pickaxe against the boulder.
Okay.
Because that is often how people reattach the heads of tools. Because they'll just hit the bottom of it, and it just kind of wedges itself back in.
Okay. Yeah, you can make an athletics check.
Okay. Alright. Boink. Ah, are you kidding me?
It's it's.
I was doing so well, and then
you managed to wedge the head of your pickaxe back on its stave, but unfortunately, you did indeed throw a wedge, so it's not really something you can fix without a little piece of tooling. You're gonna have to seek its repair.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. So that was your day, everybody's day. I don't think I'm missing. Oh, Baranor, yeah, you're. I'm gonna say Baranor and Axton. You pretty much spent your day just sort of like learning the trade and conversing with Fink and the other 2 miners that are in here with you. You notice all of them have collars, and there isn't anybody you've seen kind of enter, because there's people that have kind of come in and then like picked up like a crate on wheels full of stone and then shuffled through. It seems like this isn't a terribly isolated place, even though it's very, very deep. But would there be anything that Baranor wants to do specifically during that day?
No, he's just mainly keeping an eye out, eyes and ears open, just kind of listening to conversations, making mental notes of where each tunnel kind of goes and the patterns of the guards and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, I will say, so you went for a little walk. Yeah, you went for a little walk, and I'm going to say traversing the... Would you say that you went up the escalator in your travels, or did you just stick to the basement?
I probably went a little bit all over the place.
All right. Go ahead and give me some kind of sleight of hand check or stealth check. Give me a stealth check, because you're going to catch quite a few eyes from guards when they just see you wandering around with nothing particularly important to do. Like, you're not lifting rocks or carrying anything. You just kind of have your hand hammer or whatever it is, and you're just walking around. So if you want to make a stealth check to kind of keep out of view and keep away from prying eyes, go ahead.
All right.
All right. With an 18, on your way back. Oh, yeah. Let's not forget the psychic knack. Nice.
21.
Okay.
Like that.
Yeah, you're able to kind of look busy and look like you're intent. You found that in the let's say you took an extended walk. You kind of left Axton alone and sort of bid your farewell. You're going to take a look around the place and report back. So you kind of do take like a good hour and a half to just sort of walk around the mine, and you're able to sort of shuffle from place to place in sort of a quick, well-meaning way, and it's able to fool the guards into thinking that you've got somewhere to be, and they leave you alone for the most part. You do kind of catch a couple guards kind of shove you out of the way when you get a little too close and grunt at you. Seems like most of the guards here are large creatures with some kind of orc or ogre or giant lineage. You do see a couple of Goliaths walking around as well. So big authority figures for sure. And but as you are kind of walking around, you get the feeling like this wing of the prison, or this ring of the mine is mostly just for like high quality marble, like stone. And that's the one that you did find Maven. She looked like she was kind of attacking this slab of this fine white stone. You guys kind of caught eyes. You weren't trying to start a conversation. You just really wanted to look around. And you didn't end up finding Kravish, but you did clock where Yuno and Koza are, and that's when you found yourself in a somewhat busy but small tunnel, maybe 10 feet across, and it looked like there were a lot of people kind of hurrying into it and hurrying out of it until you got to what looked like a sort of a guarded wing that these people went in and out of. There's a couple of guards. They're actually armored. They're wearing kind of a steel chassis of a cuirass, and they're holding very large warhammers. And as you approach, you see that everybody else like looks at them and like nods, and you see them like kind of walking through them. As soon as you approach, they kind of look at you and they go, "Hey, you, stop."
I stop.
Yeah, he approaches. He's like, "Let me see your collar." And he kind of leans in and grabs your collar. He goes, "You're not doing this section. Keep moving."
Copy that. Sorry, I got turned around.
Yeah, sure you did. Keep it moving. And he's gonna post up right where he was, as if you didn't even exist anymore. And the only real distinguishing feature of the tunnel that they're going in is there is a number above the carved archway, and it is 1801, and the whole number is carved out, like or with a line through it.
Through it or under it?
Through it, like someone carved 1801 and then carved a line right through it.
Interesting.
Yeah. What was your last perception check? 25. I'll roll that into this. It looks like the strikeout line is newer than the numbers, and the numbers are sort of like decently carved. It's not like a master sculptor did it, but the line is real jagged and fast and rough.
Okay. Interesting.
And this is what you all sort of share with each other. At the lunch or dinner table, the brew that you all sort of consume it's very savory and also very earthy. It's not particularly tasty, but it does fill your stomach. Does anybody not eat it? I think I said everybody but Koza needs a meal today. But yeah, the ale that they pass out is particularly weak. Ale itself is kind of a weak alcohol. I'm not sure if everybody knew that, but kind of a way to keep water sterile. But this is a particularly weak kind, and there's a little bit of like a sulfur taste to it. It's not the best tasting water in the world that you've had.
Oh, we're in Flint, Michigan.
Yeah, crispy water.
Yeah.
And the gruel is, you can tell the gruel is a little on the thin side as far as nutrients. Like there's potato in it. There's what kind of tastes like beef broth, but then there's like cheap leeks that are kind of chewy and just not great. The day, yeah, go ahead.
No, I just said okay. Acknowledging.
Yeah, there's no sign of Kravish.
Maven is freaking out.
Yeah, he didn't. You don't see him up here in this. This meeting hall. It's kind of up. Obviously the mine, the further into the mine you go, the further down the mine goes. And this is kind of in like one of the first like 10 chambers you encounter at from the surface. So this is kind of in the upper levels. And you don't see him up here in this room. It could be he's in another chamber. Like I said, there are what look like 2 or 3 other chambers connected by short tunnels out of this room, where there are people you can kind of see people sitting at tables in one of them, and you get the feeling like maybe they're these places. So you don't see him in here. So you're freaking out, Maven. Give me a wisdom save.
Oh yeah.
I'll act on that.
Okie dokie. Wisdom saving throw. If my stuff will load. I'm having internet connectivity issues today.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Wisdom saving throw. Not awesome. 12.
12. Yeah, you don't want to eat this. Looks pretty terrible. You're distracted. You're wondering where Kravish is. With a 12, yeah, it's pretty... You're not in a good place right now.
Okay.
You're mentally kind of stressed out. You did not like kind of being on your own in that tunnel, although the tunnel was not like a horrible hellscape. It's better than the Fire Realm was. It's actually quite cool. When you swing your hammer, the guards in that particular place don't seem hell-bent on, slave driving you guys. They're just kind of there to keep the peace. You didn't really, make too many friends in the short amount of time that you were there. Everyone seemed kind of spread out. And your efforts, looked like this is a little tougher stone for you, but, you still felt kind of distant and isolated, and you thought you'd maybe see the group, and the fact that one of your group is not there is not doing real good on your brain.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah. It's that night that you are done with your shift. Maven, you have successfully freed an acceptable sized block of marble, white marble. It looks pretty flawless. It's free of black veins or spider cracks or anything like that. And so, you kind of got a talking to by the head mason. That looks like he's somebody that was sort of running the show in this part of the mine. Your little kind of white stone surrounded chamber that you were in, and kind of gives you a nod like this is acceptable. Do something like this tomorrow, and sends you on your way. And all of you kind of have the same experience. And Koza, keeping your heads down, your mining goes well. Your wrists and your palms are real sore. It looks like you're definitely building calluses and blisters on your hands. Your shoulders are sore. Like pretty much every joint has an ache to it. You see, Maven. She comes into view, where she just sort of starts walking in the same direction until Koza and meet with her, and Baranor comes up, and he's followed by Axton. And Axton has kind of his arm cradled in his other arm, and his pickaxe sort of slung over his back. And he's just kind of looking around, and he's like, "Where's Kravish?"
We don't know.
Well, when's the last somebody saw him? Was it when we all split up?
Yeah, earlier today.
All right, and Axe just kind of look around, and he's like, I don't know. They told me to head to the residency and pick ourselves our dwelling cells. And he just kind of nods in the direction that it looks like a few other dozen miners seem to be traversing to.
Okay.
Yeah, Baranor, you also kind of joined the group and looks like everyone seems to be... Not everyone. There are stragglers and people hanging around, and looks like they're like you're sort of in the area where you said you'd meet, where there are benches and tables, and it looks like there's like people working too. But most of the work is being abandoned. You see rocks sitting on tables with brushes and chisels and things like that, and everyone for the most part seems to be kind of straggling in this direction that Axton was indicating. So he's like, all right, I don't know, maybe we'll find some empty cells and can stick together, I hope. And he just kind of leads the charge.
All right.
Yeah. As you guys kind of move in the same direction, you're all... What's that?
In my wanderings, did I happen to go down that way?
Yes, you did. Yep.
Okay.
Yep, you did. You got turned away once you got close to the dwellings, because there was no reason for anybody to be in the living spaces during working hours, and that's kind of what you got. But
okay.
You definitely recognize the entrance to this place.
And that's where Kravish was?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Sorry, I misunderstood.
I'm just saying that in your wandering, you did see the entrance to this underground barracks, but you weren't allowed inside.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So we're not looking for Kravish.
Well, Axton is on his way to the living area in hopes that maybe Kravish is there. That's what he said.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay.
Also, it's where everyone else seems to be going.
Okay.
Immediately as soon as you pass under this large kind of wrought iron barred gate that is swung open at the moment, you see people mostly walking in to this torch-lit, kind of 30-foot wide, low-ceilinged tunnel. And it opens up into a number of these very large segments of barred windows and stairs leading along the wall up to individual dwellings. You see people standing on what look like balconies. There are guards standing astride the entrance, and then they're kind of on every tier of these cells, and it's maybe 5 stories high. And it looks like there's maybe, I don't know, maybe 10 or 15 of these rather large dwelling cells. Maybe like 10 feet wide and 15 feet across. Decent bit of room each. And there's people walking along the balconies, looking down, looking over. You can see prisoners of all different races kind of staring at you guys as you walk in. Not sure how to take it. They're kind of staring at everybody, and everyone's also staring at them. Like there's a lot of quiet gazes and leering eyes on everybody around here. And you see Baranor. You definitely see that gnome that you guys were working with. He kind of comes up behind you, and his legs are sort of not exposed right now. And you did see him kind of like pull like a string or a chain, something, and it just sort of retracts everything into this backpack. He kind of walks up behind you. You almost step on him. If you were behind him, you'd almost step on him. He's very, very tiny.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say that at the back, on one of the newer portions of the mine barracks, there are empty cells where you do find room. I guess it's just up to you guys if you guys definitely want to stick together or if you want to split up and live independently. It's up to you. Just need to know what your plan is.
I definitely think sticking together is probably the best move.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree.
Axton is going to move with the group. So the group, you do find a bank of 6 cells. Maven, there is room for a corner cell that looks like it could be sequestered for Kervish if he ever finds you or you find him.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yep. And there's kind of a central dining table, perhaps you could say, or break room table in the center of this room. And yeah, you guys kind of have a minute to sort of settle in. Axton just kind of like looks at all of you. He's like, "So what was your guys' day like?"
Breaking rocks.
With her fist, no doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Her knuckles are definitely bloody.
Would you say there was a time where your tool frustrated you, so you hit the rock with your fists?
I would definitely say,
frustrating.
yeah, the whole situation was frustrating. She is just, not doing super great mentally and emotionally. And so she's just taking it out with her fists.
Well,
Onto the
me and
wall.
Baranor met a gnome.
Yeah?
Yes, we did. You saw him on our way in here.
Yeah, he's got a neat
That's
little
pretty
toy.
Yeah. Axton corrected me. You might want to check that thing out.
Yeah, he had these like
It's a
weird
pretty weird
spider
drop.
arms or something, like made of
Yeah.
wood.
Now, wood's a druid thing. That's a Koza problem.
It's still a mechanism, though.
Yeah, it was all put together with like gears and string and little chains, and he had a little steam engine in there or something. It was pretty intricate.
How the hell did you get all that down here?
I don't know. It reminded me a little bit of the stories you guys told me about the that contraption thing you guys fought it when you found Axton.
You mean the automaton? Axton's
Yeah.
kind of looking at you. That thing was like a big giant steel robot thing. That was like a big
Right.
metal man. It didn't have little tiny gears. It was just it was all arcanely put together. This thing looked mechanical.
Oh. Alright, well. Conflicting stories then.
I mean, it was, what do you call it? One of those wizard, golem things? Or I don't know, what do they call them? A warforged? It was something like that. It was mostly magic and metal.
Oh.
And, but this was
Like a
much more
construct.
of like, like it was clockwork, like real classic gnomish invention. And I don't know. He
Oh,
pulled
was
the
that like
string
that thing that we fought with Shekis? Or the Shekis' horde, they came at us with those, there was like a couple things piloting one.
Well, yeah. I mean, that was that was definitely also done with magic and gears, and that was a weird thing. I can't believe we destroyed that thing. That thing was huge.
I don't know. I'm a simple guy. This is all well beyond me, so.
That's okay. I was kind of talking to him about it, and well, he saw me struggling, and he said maybe tomorrow we'll see if he can't help me out. Maybe some kind of tool I could use to help me grip the pickaxe better.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. He said he's gonna want something in return, but I kind of figured if he's gonna offer me something like that, he'd want something. So we'll see what he wants.
And everybody wants some.
So Baranor, you kind of went for a walk, huh? Did you see anything interesting?
Yeah, I mean, I saw a lot of tunnels, a lot of the same. I mean, a lot of the same of what we dealt with. But then I came across an area that we weren't supposed to go to, I think. They looked at my collar and they were like, "Oh, you're not supposed to be here." But everybody was like heavily armed, and there was a heavily guarded area. It had something to do with the numbers 1801.
180.
Does that ring any bells? Yeah.
everybody make a history check.
Okay.
I'm gonna run one for Axton.
I'm gonna roll it just out of spite. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Why did it just roll sleight of hand twice? That's not what I clicked on.
I don't know how I got a 5. I rolled a 2, and I have a +2. Okay.
Roll 20's bugging.
Okay. So, Maven, you know.
Jesus.
Noah, what did Koza get?
I got a 3 for history.
Oh, jeez. That's what that is? Okay.
Yeah.
A 3 total?
Like I said, roll 20's bugging.
Yeah.
All right, well, Maven and Yuno, I'll say that both of you, having at least a cursory knowledge of the different ages, you know that the first, second, and now the first and second ages both exceeded 1,801 years. So you know that it's not a year in the third age, because right now you're only in the year 1053. So it could at least be a year from the first or second age. You also notice that it does not match any kind of filing system in any of the tunnels that you've been in. As far as like there's sort of an order to the mine's arrangement, and things are numbered by like numbers and letters, and also like descriptor words like south tunnel and stuff like that. And this wouldn't correlate with any of the rest of the
tunnel. I noticed the east tunnel that Maven went down wasn't even east.
Yes, it was.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, that's about all you know. Is it could be a year or some kind of unique address system. Not exactly sure what.
Well, what was even weirder about it was they had that number, and then the number was crossed out. But the crossing out part was newer than when the number was.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what that means.
Maven and Yuno's superior memory for history would tell you that means that the number was no longer.
Uh-huh.
Or they didn't like that number in particular.
Yeah.
And as you guys are kind of sitting around you guys are kind of congregating around this empty cell that Maven is maybe kind of holding for Kravish, you hear like a heavy stomping sound behind you. And as you turn around, there's this huge full ogre who just kind of like butts up against, I'll say, butts up against Baranor. It says, "Oh, these are our cells. Back off, maggot." And he's going to push Baranor. I need you to make a strength saving throw.
Oh, no.
Now, I want all of you to know that you have your tools with you. They were not confiscated.
Don't need those.
All right. He pushes you 5 feet back, and you do not fall prone.
Look at you.
Yeah, you stand your ground.
Surviving a strength save.
Well, it was a high DC, but you made it.
Yeah.
All right.
Rangers are proficient in strength for some reason.
Yep. What do you do besides slide backwards 5 feet?
I kind of look at the rest of everybody and kind of gauge how they're feeling about this.
Yeah. Axton's having a rough day. He's going to back you up. Axton's going to sidle up behind you with his pickaxe over his shoulder.
Literally flashbacks to the other day.
Yeah. All right. What does the rest of you do? You notice that there are a couple of half ogre humanoids, maybe half orc, behind this full ogre. They look like they're backing him up.
Oh no. Definitely show of force.
Definitely has that. You should find the biggest guy in the yard, knock him out sort of mentality that flashes across your mind. You notice
I have a knife.
He is not armed. He doesn't. The ogre is he is unarmed. And he is going to walk 5 feet closer, so now he's going to bump into Baranor again. And he's going to say, I said move it, maggot.
Okay. I'm going to... I don't know what the rest of everyone wants to do.
Raven is
I'm
ready.
going to say he bumps you into Axton, and Axton kind of holds you up.
Okay.
Maven, what did you say you were doing?
She's ready to throw down. She's ready.
Okay, you going to clench your fists?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I'll throw the hammer away.
Okay, you throw the hammer. Where do you throw the hammer?
On the ground. I don't need it. It's useless for me as far as she's concerned.
I want you to make an intimidation check.
Being unarmed and unarmored and everything like that has not affected Maven at all.
No, not at all.
No, not in any way.
She's still the same.
She's like, oh no, so sad. Anyway.
Okay.
That intimidation? Let's see. 8. She's not
8.
intimidating.
Okay, it's gonna bring the one half orc within striking distance of you. He's got a warhammer sort of tool over his shoulder, and he's going to lift it in the air like he's going to drop it very, very, very close to you. What is Yuno and Koza doing as you see this sort of scene unfold?
Yuno's backing away slowly.
I'm gonna stand behind Baranor just as like moral support.
Okay. Do not forget, you all have use of level 1 spells and below. Just saying. I will also say that as you're kind of looking around, you notice that there are no guards in here. There's about maybe there's 2 levels of cells, and this is like a back wing area and you know that a guard had passed through here a minute ago, but they're long gone right now. Just so you know. All right. Well, Axton is... Let's see. He's going to clock that Maven is getting real annoyed at this guy in front of him. And Baranor, what are you doing? Are you just kind of taking it?
Well, now I have Axton and Ghost behind me.
Yeah, and Maven's right there too.
Right. Okay. I'm gonna stand my ground as well.
Okay, he is going to push you again. Are you going to let him? With his big sweaty belly.
No, I'm gonna try and duck out of it.
You're going to duck out of it? Go ahead and make a deck save.
All right.
Duck. This is a belly dodge.
Bob and weave, baby. Bob and weave. Bitchin'.
That's what I do.
Indeed. Natural 20. Yeah. Okay. Do you want to have scaled his body and now I'll let you piggyback him.
No, I don't want to. No. I'll just scoot around, completely around him, just be behind him or something.
So, like the Hobbit, you kind of skitter away and he tries to grab you, but it's like he's too quick. And you're kind of dodging his motion until he finally puts his foot down and stops you and slaps you in the back of the head. I'm going to make him do an unarmed strike.
Okay.
Natural 1. And so I'm going to give everybody a chance to react to this as he just attacked Baranor. So we'll go down the line itself. What does Koza do in reaction to that?
Well, let me look at my spells, see what I can see what I can do. I think it's high time Koza did something about that. Let's see, what does this do? Is the guy that's been provoking us, is he medium or...
No. He is large.
Okay. Damn it. Ooh. Ooh, wait.
God.
I'm ready to go.
Ooh, okay. I'm gonna use Mold Earth and turn the ground beneath him into difficult terrain.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's time to move everyone to the map.
All right.
Let's do that. Go ahead and place your mini in the central area, anywhere that you want, as long as Baranor, you are between the ogre and the table. Anybody else can be anywhere else that they want to be. Maven, I'd say put yourself right next to one of those dudes.
I only see a black square.
Oh, hold on. Hold on.
Same. I thought it was my computer.
How's that?
Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Okay, who
And,
cannot put their piece on the board?
I think it's gonna give me issues.
Oh,
I'm betting it's me.
Yeah.
okay, there we go.
Yep, I cannot.
Okay.
Yeah, me neither.
All right. Hold
Let
on.
me
Here's
see.
Baranor.
Oh, thank you.
Baranor, put yourself right there.
Okay.
Maven, looks like you're having trouble too, eh?
Yeah.
All right.
Wait, maybe not. We'll see.
I just did it anyway. There you
Okay.
go. Put yourself wherever you
Perfect.
like to. Koza with your big gun that you don't have. Someday.
Alright, I'm gonna stand right here.
Okay.
Okay, there's Axton. There's Baranor.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of you. That's everybody. All right. Go ahead and roll initiative.
Rolling initiative.
Rolling initiative.
Rolling.
Oh, that was a wild ride.
Yeah. Now, keep in mind, level 1 spells have been and below, and you have your weapons or your tools. You don't have anything else at your disposal. No potions, no bombs, no ninja stars, no throwing knives, no daggers,
No pugilist gloves.
no pugilist gloves, no armor,
No moon glaives.
no moonglaves, no armor, no magic items.
Can you add me to the turn order?
I certainly can, sir.
Baranor is never without daggers.
All right.
He had 3 in the old prison wallet.
I don't even need to do that.
You know, I am not
No, but
above.
you could.
I am not above rolling to scavenge shivs. All right, this thing has a terrible dex. Yeah.
What's the one in Baldur's Gate? The poop scraper?
The poop scraper, yeah.
The poop knife.
Yeah.
It's the poop knife. That's like the worst story in all of fucking
It is.
history.
I know.
I'm like, I can't fucking stand that.
One of my friends
No, thank you.
referenced it offhand, and I was like, "What are you talking about?" And then,
Oh no. Oh
Okay.
god.
Everybody take a look and see if I think Maven, you're in there twice. What's your number? What's your initiative?
20?
You got a 20?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not.
I only
bad.
see myself once.
It's in there.
Yeah, I'm like, I
Yeah,
only see
the
myself
20.
once.
I see the 20. I'm seeing people twice. You know, what was your initiative?
21.
21. All right, so this one's out. I don't know
Yeah,
why
I only-
it kept everything from the last fight, but it did. Koza, what's yours?
I'm only seeing 5.
I know. I'm
Yeah.
seeing. I must not have cleared it on my screen.
Oh,
Okay.
gotcha.
Koza, what was your initiative, bud?
3.
All right, so this really high one that you rolled last week doesn't count. Aw.
Nope.
Jesus Christ,
And
my
Baranor,
guy.
what about you?
17.18.
Man, it duplicated everybody. I don't get it. Whatever. Okay. Let's descend this list. And who is
I
first?
wasn't even
But
there.
you know. All right. So you know you've got an ogre at the far end of the chamber, and you're surrounded by barred cells. Some of the cells have people in them.
Okay.
You got
Who are we
two.
missing?
I don't think you're missing anybody.
Yes, we are.
Axton.
Who- Nope, action's right here.
Okay, where is he in the initiative order?
Yeah, he's not on the order.
Yeah, he is. It says 5.1.
Okay, I don't see that on mine.
You really don't
He's
see
not
that?
on.
That's weird. All right, let me do it again. Can you see him on there now?
I see. Yep. Now he's on there.
Okay. You are first in the turn order. You got two guys that each have hand weapons, kind of on either side of you, and you've got a hallway that leads to another part of the prison directly behind you. What you doing?
Firebolt to the guy closest to me's face.
All right, there's one on either side of you.
On the left.
Okay, gotcha. Go ahead and make that roll.
That's going to be a 20.
Yeah, that definitely hits him.
And 19 points of fire damage.
Okay.
And then I'm going to push him like a little bitch with my mind.
Okay, that's a strength save. He is going to... Oh, that was almost a 3. Instead, it's a 15.
He fails. He gets pushed 5 foot back into the bars.
Bam! All right.
And that'll be it for me.
Okay, you pushed him in the bars. Go ahead and roll a d6. We'll count it as fall damage, but it's hitting bars with violence damage.
That's going to be 2.
All right, so 19 plus 2 is 21 points of total damage. Okay, he's still up.
And that'll be it for me.
All right, Maven, you're up next. Baranor's after you.
Okie dokie. I am. There we go. Am I technically within this guy's bubble?
Oh yeah, he is. He is 2 by 2 squares.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure I didn't need to get closer to hit him.
Yep, he is large.
I'm gonna hit him twice. First one is a dirty 20.
All right.
Dirty 20.
A dirty 20 definitely hits him. You feel like you hit him with double the amount of force you needed. Let's put it that way, almost.
Okay. For 13 points of damage.
All right.
And one more time. 17 to hit.
17 definitely hits.
For 8 points of damage.
All right.
And then I'm gonna spend a key point to do Flurry of Blows. There we go.
Stunning strike.
18 to hit. I can do whatever I want, and now I can't do that because you told me to. 18 to hit for 6 points of damage. And then 17 to hit for 8 points of damage. So it's 8, 8, 6, 13, 16, 16 22.
I'm just messing with the
points of damage.
health bars. Yeah, hold on to all your damage because I'm screwing around with this and it's not working.
I was just adding.
Okay. Now, I want his... There we go. Sorry about that, folks. I was trying to get this stupid ogre's health bar to look correct. Okay. And this guy is full. He has not been hit yet. Okay, how much damage did you do total to the ogre? Sorry, hon.
35. You're fine.
30. Okay.
And once per turn, when I hit it, okay, you can move it 5 feet to an unoccupied space. So I'm gonna move him back a little bit. 5
Does Baranor get an attack of opportunity?
It is forced movement. So.
Forced movement, so no.
Okay.
No.
It is a compelled shove. He's large, and he weighs 1,000 pounds. Is that a problem for you?
It just says that it can only be one size bigger than me.
Okay, that works.
Yeah.
Sounds good. All right.
And then, I'm trying to figure out if I want to move. I think that I will. I don't know why I'm measuring this. It's fine. I'm gonna run up on the other guy.
All right.
choose the right one? There we go. Like that. And that'll be my turn.
All right. Is that going to end your turn, you said?
Yep, that'll end my turn.
All right, Baranor, you're up.
All right. I'm going to, if I'm still holding my little light hammer, I'm going to toss that down.
Okay.
And from both of my hands, 2 ethereal, glowing purple daggers pop into existence.
All right.
And I'm going to chuck 1, chuck 2.
Directly at the
Soul
big guy?
knife. Oh, yeah. Soul knife number 1 probably misses 10.
A 10 misses.
That's who it's second. Yeah.
He's pretty
Second
big.
one is
He's pretty big. He's pretty squishy, but he's not. He's not
16
that slow.
16 on the other one.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay. Oh, great. 5 second damage.
He's pretty stupid, so you definitely feel like it counted, as little as it is.
Yeah. I don't think I get sneak attack on that. Hang on.
Technically, Axton is next to him.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, is that Axton's next to him, right? So
Technically!
How close does he have to be? To him?
you don't need it. You don't need advantage if if it has another enemy within 5 feet of it. So yeah.
Oh, it does. There you go.
Okay. So that's 3d6. Okay, 8 more second damage.
All right, that's good.
So 13 total on that. That was action, bonus action, and I will move. I'm gonna kind of stay. I'll stay right here, kind of supporting action from a distance.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my turn.
All right, it is the ogre's turn. He is going to step forward. He's going to do 2 slam attacks. One against Axton, one against Baranor. The one against Axton, ooh, pretty good. That is going to be a 19 to hit Axton. I do believe that's his AC. Let me double check. Nope, not spiritual weapon. Axton Woodman Bloom's AC is... Oh yeah, he's not... Oh no, that's right, thank you. He's not wearing his armor. None of you are. So that
None of us
definitely
are.
hits. None of you are wearing your armor.
Oh no.
Is there a way?
I know. And Maven's is still like 18 or 19 or something like that.
How do
It's
I...
18. Yeah.
He's got... what is it? It's plate, so it's what? It's strength or something? No. Let me look that up real quick.
What?
I'm trying to figure out his AC. Because it's not... What
do you mean?
You can't just... You can't just...
You're just talking about regular...
Yeah, what his natural armor would be.
It would be 10 plus this dex mod.
That's... Yeah. It's not 8?
Without...
Oh.
No, it's
8
10.
is for...
Without armor or a shield, your character's AC equals 10 plus his or her dex modifier.
Yeah, so his armor class is 10. Yeah.
Oh.
That is what it is.
Great.
Yep.
Strength-based fighters.
Well, what are you going to do?
All of you are so squishy.
Very squishy. All right, that's fair. Okay.
I have better AC than the fighter.
Do you?
Jesus.
Awful.
Yeah. Yep. Well, especially now because you only got one arm.
Oh my lord. Okay.
Oh no.
Great.
He's only got one arm, guys. But that's all right.
Yeah.
So the ogre is going to hit Axton for... Oh boy.
Oh man.
I usually do damage online, so... He's an ogre, so it's just unarmed combat. He's just slamming him. That's all he's doing. But it's with his strength mod. So that's going to be 10 points of damage, of bludgeoning damage against him. And let's get to Baranor. Now that I got that figured out. Oh, natural 1 on Baranor.
Hey, that
Lucky
does not hit
devil
my...
you.
does not come close to my 14 AC.
Yeah. So this guy right here is totally going to... Are you fighting him, Maven? Or are you fighting the ogre?
She fought the ogre and then ran over
fighting
there.
the ogre, and then I ran over there.
Okay, then he's not going to get the drop on you, but he is going to try and grab you. So he's going to try and grapple you. I just need a strength saving throw.
Oh, no.
I wasted my good strength saving throw already, so we'll see how this goes. Oh, not bad. 18.
Boy, it's gonna be fun.
18, yeah. So
Everybody gets one.
he's got a hold of like your wrists, and you do this move where you kind of jump in the air and kick his chest and pull your wrists free and do a nice, cute little backflip. I'm going to give you 5 feet of movement away from him if you wish, without an attack of opportunity.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Yeah.
We'll
And,
start heading like that way.
ahead.
There we go. I forgot that he had one arm, and now I feel bad.
So
You forgot.
he is going to use his entire movement to chase you. But because you flipped away, he's going to have to wait till his next turn. This guy right here is going to... let's see. He watched, shoot fire at him. So he's going to move over here to Koza. Maybe the giant frickin' Fearbulk is an easier target. So he's going to sink his, little pick. He's got, a hand pick right into your back, Koza.
Ow.
Rude.
Lost my goddamn dice. There we go. And it's pretty good, too. It's a 21.
Yeah, that hits.
But fortunately for you, it's just a D6. So that's going to be 10 points of piercing damage, and he just catches you right under your ribs.
Ow. At least I'm at 69 hit points. Nice.
But that ends his turn, and it is Axton Woodman's Bloom's turn. He is going to make an attack with... let me see. Does he have a weapon equivalent? He's got a lot of weapons. He's got a javelin. What's a javelin look like? Damage is 1d6. That'll work. All right, I'm going to throw his javelin. Only it's a pickaxe, and he's right next to the guy. 21 hits, 11 points of piercing damage. That is good. And he's going to strike him again. He's just going to kind of hack and slash at this guy. Let's use them all up. Let's try that again. He's going to add a menacing attack to this. Which I can do that too. Alright. I will have this dude roll. Wisdom save against for an ogre is going to go great. Just great. It's -2, whatever this is. And it's an 11, makes it a 9. That's a failure, so he is now frightened of Axton. As he does so, he's going to accidentally, because he's using one arm, it's very awkward. He's going to accidentally drop his pickaxe, and it's going to fly across the room all the way over here. So he's going to then use his action surge and start beating this guy with his bare hands.
Somebody else gets to beat somebody else.
Bare hands.
Yeah. His
Thomas.
bare hand. Yes, his bare
Sorry.
hand. This one's going to be at
Sorry.
disadvantage. So he has a strength of 5, so I'll just roll a d20 with 5 twice. Actually, wait, it's... I wish there was a way... No, there is a way to do it. I just didn't do it right. Alright, so that's a 7, or... yeah, he's going to have to take that 7. Ooh, that's a natural 20 as well. So he's going to punch this this ogre twice for his action surge. This is his second attack. That's a 22. Let's hope he rolls... Oh, Jesus. Axton misses on both of his strikes. As a matter of fact, the ogre kind of catches him by one hand and holds him up a couple feet off the ground. They don't let many cripples in here. And he's going to toss him to the floor. That's going to end Axton's turn. Cozy, you're next with Yuno back on deck.
All right. I am going to... first of all, I'm going to turn around and deck the dude behind me.
Okay.
So that is going to be... I don't have an unarmed attack on my thing, so I'll just roll a strength save.
Yeah, that is not
Does that
enough
hit?
to hit him. Nope. Sorry.
Damn it. Okay.
These things have an AC of 11, these little guys. You just barely didn't hit him hard enough.
Well, then I'm gonna I'm gonna pick up any rock that I can find on the ground and cast Magic Stone.
Okay.
And huck it at the ogre guy.
All right, that'll do.
So
surprisingly,
this
in a
is
big
going
rock
to
mine,
be-
there are stones on the ground.
All right, so this is +3 if it clicked. There we go. That's a little better.
Yeah. You hit
Does a
the ogre.
19 hit? Okay.
It does.
So then this is a d6 +3. Okay. That's 7 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
Yes. And that'll be my turn.
Okay. You strike the ogre square in the head with a glowing rock. It hits him. You hear like a coconut thunk, and then the stone sits right back down at your feet because you're standing almost right in front of it. You know you are next.
All right. The dude that I was already fucking with,
Yeah.
he's gonna get another firebolt right to the face.
Okay.
That's a 28 to hit.
28 hits. This guy, right?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. That totally hits. You hit him right between the eyes.
And that's gonna be 20 points of fire damage.
How many?
20. 2-0.
Ooh, damn. Oh, why won't it let me pick it? There we go. Holy crap. All right. He's not looking that great. Definitely
gonna
has
push
the
him
most
again.
damage to him. Okay. Can you push him in any direction? Or does it have to be like away from you?
I think it can be any direction.
I think so too. I think it's, with telekinesis, yeah, I think it is. Like you could pull him towards you, couldn't you?
It just says that you can shove a creature. It does not say in which direction. It can be towards me or away from me.
Is it the telekinesis spell?
No, it's a power of
Okay.
the mind.
It's a sheet.
It's a feat, yeah.
All right. The target must succeed. Come on. Jesus. Why is there so much fluff in this crap?
Once when I was a young wizard, I saw my father cast this spell.
There we go. Be moved 5 feet toward or away from you. All right, so you know what? I don't care. You can move him in any direction you want. That's what it feels like. It sounds like to me. So, all right. So I'm guessing the whole point of that is you want him to shove back into the bars.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Jeez. I'm sorry it took so long to get there. He's going to make a strength save. Not great. That's going to be a 7. So go ahead and roll another d6. If you roll another d6, you can roll some impact damage.
That'll be a 5.
5. Got it. Okay.
And that'll be
Okey-dokey.
it for me.
All right. What you doing, Maven?
Okie dokie. So she watched Axton get thrown to the ground, so she's gonna run her ass over there
Okay.
and then whacks the ogre a couple times. 14 to hit.
That hits.
Bitchin'. For 11 points of damage.
All right.
23 hits for 6 points of damage.
So 17 total.
17 total.
Okay.
And then she'll just do a single unarmed strike. Or try 12 to hit.
12 does hit.
Or 7 more points of damage. So 24? I don't know if I added that right.
All right. Can everybody see his health bar or no?
No.
Yeah.
No.
How about now?
Oh,
There we
now
go.
can.
Oh, I'm
There
sorry.
we go.
Hold on, I gotta fix it for the other guys. I gotta do that. I gotta remember to do that every time there's a new sprite on the thing. Okay, there's his. Alright. I just like the idea of you guys knowing where you're standing with him. So there you go.
I don't know. I don't know. Me personally, I kind of like it not having the health bar.
Well.
You're weird.
I don't think I can do it for individual people, Bogey.
I know. I'm just voicing my opinion.
Visible to... It says editor.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I'm just... That's my opinion.
Yeah, I get it. Well, it doesn't show the number, so you don't know exactly how much it is.
Sure. Okay. That's fair.
It is a little. It's kind of like Mortal Kombat health bar going. You know, you're never exactly sure how much, but Reptile ends up hitting you with that stupid slime ball and just takes all your energy away.
Yeah. That does happen.
Okie doke. You hit him with an unarmed strike, Maven. What else you doing? You moving? You staying? That it?
That's it. That's it.
All right, Baranor, you're up next.
All right. 2 more blades. Stabby, stabby.
Okay.
Ooh,
That
11.
just hits. That just hits.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, very low AC on the ogre. He's very slow and dumb and squishy.
All right, 6. And that one gets sneak attack as well. So 15 total psychic damage on that one.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because he has enemies within 5 feet of him, so I get sneak attack as well. So
Got it.
just on that one. Though. The second one is just straight roll. 19, I'm sure hits. Oh,
Yes, it
and
does.
8 more psychic damage.
All right.
So 23 total was that?
Yeah, that's a lot. That's huge. Whittling him down. He's looking kind of like around himself at you all, kind of in a quick, panicky way, like maybe this fight's not going in the way he thought it was gonna go. Which is funny because you guys are not super intimidating right now. You don't have your armor and your weapons. You're just kind of in the same rags as everybody else.
And my blades don't leave any marks on the target.
Yeah, they're headache knives.
Yeah, essentially. I'm gonna stay put right where he's pretty low. Yeah, I'll stay where I'm at.
All right.
That's my
I
turn.
will say this, Baranor. You typically don't use your psychic knives like this intensely over and over and over and over again. So there's a little bit of a temple uncomfortability at your temples, which is like a twinge.
All right.
Nothing to be worried about. You're just, you're stressing your psychic abilities out just a little bit. Yeah.
Not sure.
So the ogre is going to definitely attack somebody around him. He does have reach, so it's going to be one of you 4. So why don't I just roll a d4 and see who it's going to be, and we'll go left to right. Koza, you're 1, and so on.
Oh, okay.
He's gonna attack 2 of you, so I'm gonna roll this twice. So that's 1 for Axton,
Oh, jeez.
and that's 1 for Maven. All right.
Yay!
His slam attack against Maven is going to be for that's much better. That's a 27.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. Just
And,
maybe it is.
23 against Axon. So both of these are going to hit. Let's just do the damage for him first so I can write it down. What was I going to do? Yeah, not this. Okay, so this is against Axton. Oh my god, will you stop? There. 12 points against Axton. And against Maven. That's 8 points of bludgeoning against you.
Okie
Alright, he is going to definitely... You see him kind of like... he's going to use his bonus action and he's going to steal his mind, or his body, as much as he can. He's got a 3 for con. He's going to give himself back some hit points. This has to be a 10. For 8. That's not bad. It's something. Alright. That's going to end his turn. These guys get to move. One of them is going to... he's going to pull that pick out of your back, Koza, and he's going to try and get you right in the neck.
Ow.
What an asshole, right? Not for very good, though. That's only a 13, but I doubt your AC's that great.
Yeah, no, it's not great.
Yeah, so that's going to hit. So that's going to be a D6. Or nope, sorry. No, it is a D6, yeah. So that's 10 points of piercing damage right in your shoulder blade.
Ow.
Yeah, he's kind of sticking you full of holes, man. You're just letting him do it. This guy's going to come after you. He's going to move right here. And he's going to try and sink his warhammer in the back of your head. Not bad. That's a dirty 20.
Okay.
Does shield work?
It would put me right at 20, so...
Okay. Okie dokie. He's going to hit you for all of 7 points of bludgeoning damage right on your dome. Doing. That's going to end the prisoner's turn. Axton is next. He is going to move over here and pick up his pickaxe. And he's going to strike again, this time at disadvantage. He's really struggling with this one-armed fighting style. You guys are noticing. But that's a pretty damn good roll. That is... Oh, wait. I can use my javelin. I'm only going to use his modifier, whatever this roll is, because I rolled really good. Plus 9, that was a 28, which is pretty close to what he got. So that's 9 piercing with his pickaxe. Okay, and he's going to do it again.
Reload and shoot him again.
Ooh, natural 1. Yeah,
Nice.
he misses again, and he drops his pickaxe again. This time he drops to one knee and just kind of looks up at the guy. You can tell like he instinctively was trying to use 2 hands to swing it, and it just messed him up. He dropped his pickaxe, and he dropped to one knee. He's not looking good right now as far as his coordination. That's going to end his turn. You know what? He does have, what is it called? Second Wind. I'll give him back some of his hit points. Second Wind, here we go. What does this do? 1d10 plus fighter level. Okay. He is a... it's going to be Yuno's turn next. He is a fighter 6, so 1d10 plus 6. What you doing there, Yuno?
I'm going to start by shoving this dude
Okay.
right in the face.
Right.
I don't think I went after Axon.
You didn't. Oh, yeah, my bad. Sorry. Yuno, hold on to that. Koza is next. My bad.
That's fine. I'm gonna cast Toll the Dead on this dude trying to stick me from behind.
Okay. Is that a save?
He's got to succeed a wisdom save.
Oh, he does not have good wisdom.
I'm counting on it.
That's a 3 plus 1 is 4.
Yep. All right, so he takes all of this. He's taken 3d12 necrotic damage.
Woo woo!
Boom.
Yeah, Toll the
Get
Dead
his
is
ass.
badass higher levels.
Yeah.
Eat him! Yeah!
22 points of damage.
Fuck that
Fuck
guy!
this guy.
Okay, I'm gonna say he is prone, but he is not unconscious. You just...
Uh,
what does that
well,
look like
then
in the
in
middle
that
of this
case-
peril? In the middle of this prison, what does that look like?
a big old spectral bell appears over his head, and a big, like, well, not a big, like a little hammer appears in Koza's hand, and he just right over his head.
Oh, yeah.
I
Splitting
And-
headache.
And
Two
as a bonus
thumbs up.
action, I'm gonna pick up the rock that I bounced off the ogre's head and bounce it off of his head.
Okay.
yes.
He is prone. This is an
I
auto
got it.
hit.
I got it. Okay,
Or no,
so
advantage or
that's,
something.
if he's prone, I think it's a advantage.
Yeah,
Ultimately,
unconscious. I
it'd be
think
up
it's
to you
not
on that.
about it.
He's not unconscious. His head hurt so much that he fell down.
All right, well then I'll just roll 2 of these.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that's a d6 plus 3. Okay, yeah.
5? All right, hold on.
That's 8 points of bludgeoning damage to the dome.
Okay, he is unconscious.
Good. Yes.
Yay.
We like this. Yeah.
First blood.
I think this guy is... Honestly, I think this dude right here is full. I don't think anybody's hit him. He's just kind of hanging out, like, barely looking threatening. He's just like, I'm right here.
Okay, guys.
Okay, Koza. Anything else?
Nope, that's it.
All right. You know, whatever rolls you had, I'm pretty sure they were successful. You can keep them. Just tell me what happened again.
I'm gonna push this dude
Okay?
5 feet.
He's got pretty decent strength, and that's a natural 20.
So he goes nowhere, but that's okay. Cause I'm gonna huck a firebolt right at him, right in the face.
Point blank range.
Dodge this, bitch.
Mm-hmm.
You can dodge a wrench. You can dodge a ball. 14 to
Dodge
hit.
this, you casual.
A 14 does hit.
Come on. Stop. 20 points of fire damage.
Oh, boy. All right. Remember when I said that nobody hit him yet? He's
Yeah.
got scorched in the face.
He's
He's not happy at all.
And I'm gonna move over this way. I'm gonna let him take an opportunity attack on me.
Okay. He's going to strike
I don't
at
think
you for just a 14.
That does not hit.
All right. You got away.
And that will end my turn.
All right. Maven, it's all you.
Okay, I am going to, unsurprisingly, hit the ogre one more time, at least, hopefully.
So modest.
There we go. I know. What can I say? 14 to hit
That does hit.
for 8 points of damage.
All right. Okie dokie dokie.
21 to hit for 9 points of damage.
9 points more. Chipping away. Chipping away. Yeah. Ogre's not looking so hot.
Gonna spend a key point. A flurry of blows.
Well, at least his knees don't look so hot. You're not very tall compared to him. You're kind of like hitting his,
No.
his leg area.
Hey, that's fine with me.
Major Charlie horse.
16 to hit
16 does hit.
for 6 points of damage.
Alrighty.
And then 30, 20 for 13 damage.
Whoa, whoa. Nope, that's Maven. 13 points. How would you like to do this, Maven?
I want to stomp on the back of his knee so that he falls face first into the floor.
The ogre has fallen unconscious.
Woot woot.
Come on. Would you let me freaking move it? Stupid. There we go. Damn. Just want to do this. Oh, it won't let me do it unless I move it over here. I love Roll20.
Yeah.
So weird.
Okay. He is unconscious.
And she's gonna
I'm
just
gonna
run
say,
up.
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, that's it. That's my turn.
Okay, Baranor, using your expert perception, you notice with your passive wisdom that this guy right here, starch just got took out of him. He looks like he's about to drop his weapon.
Okay.
Do as you will.
I'm gonna chuck one soul. I'm gonna chuck one soul knife at him and see what I do.
Okay. Are they invisible or no?
They're invisible.
Oh,
That one misses, I'm guessing.
Okay. You want to throw another one?
Just misses. Yeah, I'll throw the offhand one.
Okay.
Oh my god. Okay.
So, you know what? Because
those are warning shots.
I'm feeling generous. He goes to turn, and there's a purple, whizzing, glowing light that goes right by his head and sticks into the wall. So he goes to dodge away from it, and then the other one goes right in front of his nose against the other side of the wall and stops him dead in his tracks.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of looks at all of you and looks at you, Maven, and drops his. He's got like a hammer. Drops on the floor. Mm-hmm. He's like, "Hey, it's cool. It's cool. It's cool. I'm done." And he's kind of like glancing at his ogre friend. He's like, "It was all his idea anyway. You guys can have whatever bed you want.
Please leave."
Yeah. He
Where do we get your jello?
Shoot.
Yeah, I get the feel. You get the feeling he will totally give you his jello if he sees you at the cafeteria again. He kind of leaves with his tail between his legs. Literally, he was kind of like a canine-looking half ogre kind of creature.
Mm-hmm.
And he kind of like departs in this direction. Oh no! You know what? No, back here. All right, get rid of all this stuff. Back here is a way out, so he's gonna just kind of like, all right, no trouble. Thanks a lot. Bye bye. See you later. Gone.
Toodaloo. Have a great day.
The two unconscious people in the room are like snoring, like especially the big one. He's just like, the other guy is like he's out cold, but you do hear a slight pitter-patter of applause from around you. The cells that sort of line the walls of this place. And there's probably maybe like 10 or 15, because there's a couple floors worth of these cells. You do hear just sort of like the clip-clap of hands as you look up and you're surrounded by people. They're like, all right, good show. Good job. Yeah, you showed them. And, yeah, it's about that time where the guard comes back, and he just kind of sees. Now, you can see the guard coming back, and I'm going to say that this guy right here, he's going to kind of give you a heads up to all of you. He's like, "Oi, guards are coming." What do you do?
Okie doke. Move to a cell and look like I have been there the whole time.
Okay.
I don't know what happened. It wasn't me.
That's one for blending in. How about anybody else?
I'm doing the same.
Yeah. Okay. Everyone's just sort of darts into an empty cell. Maven, I'm gonna say that you're in like a corner cell right next to the empty one that you guys were kind of saving for Kravish. And the guard comes in. Everybody sort of scatters. You can see everybody in the cell block kind of screaming at the guards like, "Hey, look at what happened." They're going crazy. The guard comes in. It's sort of cacophonous. He's looking around. He's like, "What happened? Did you see what happened?" And they stand there. They kind of like look between the two unconscious people, and you see that they start kind of formulating an opinion of their own, like along with a couple of the prisoners. If your neighbors are like, yeah, they were fighting each other and they knocked each other out, and they're like, oh, these guys are always up to no good. You see the guard kind of call a few others because it's going to take a sled and a lot of strength to drag the unconscious ogre away, but they eventually pile them onto like a skid, drag it through the the hallway, and they kind of disappear, and things start to die down. And as they're dragging the ogre's body away, you can kind of see Kravish kind of walking with his hands in his pockets. He's wearing different clothes. They're a little nicer than what he had on.
Of course he.
Oh, Lord.
He's got actually a hat with a little tiny hawk feather in it. And,
oh my God.
He's wearing kind of a black jacket, like a black blazer. It's dusty. It looks like it's ripped at the shoulder pads are separated a little bit. He's wearing kind of a dingy tan shirt, but it's got buttons on it. He's wearing a set of slacks that are sort of folded up and tucked and tied with a string over his dragonborn feet. And he's got a big old pickaxe over his arm, and he's looking around. He's going, well, gee, guys, what a miss. And that's where we're going to end the session.
Absolutely nothing. Miss nothing at all. Don't worry about it right now.
Yeah, he definitely looks interested in hearing about it. But we will pick that up during the next session. I don't know if you guys know this. I don't know if you know this. This is our 70th session. Holy crap.
It is.
Whoa.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah,
That's a
so
lot.
I think it's probably realistic that we've got maybe another 30, 40, maybe 50 episodes left. Yeah, 70.
Don't say
I can't
that.
believe it.
doesn't sound like enough.
Yeah, it doesn't,
No,
does it?
my heart hurts.
When you do it every
It
2
never
weeks,
does.
when you do it every 2 weeks, and then you take skip sessions here and there, especially at the end of the year, they do kind of spread out. But it's definitely been a
We've been playing for like
interesting journey.
2.5 years now.
Yeah, that's crazy.
February of 21.
Oh, wow.
That is when the campaign
Oh,
actually
wow.
started. I know almost nobody was here at the first session. Kenny's been here the longest, and then followed by Noah and everybody else. So, yeah. All right.
Oh, wow.
So, just so everyone knows, there's going to be a time skip next session. I was hoping we get to it this time, but I like the way we ended it. That's fine. But there will be something of a time skip. So you guys all have homework to do, and that is you're going to spend a month kind of doing what you've done today, which is gather your tools, go to some tunnel, do some work. You'll be directed to different places. You won't be in the same place every time. You may get paired up with certain people. So plan for a month of prison work, and come up with, if there's anything that you guys want to know about the prison, you can explore it in your meandering, and based on what you guys are trying to discern, there are things about the prison that are very interesting that you could learn. You're going to spend a month here. You're going to get to know a lot of people, and you've already met a couple of friendly faces. And what do you want to get out of this, if anything? If you just want to do your time, keep your head down, that's fine too. I'm not going to lose any sleep over that. So, hopefully we have Corey back on August 10th. That is our next session. Let me know if you have a conflict, and I will super not plan on playing you. I will totally make your character miss the session for some reason, because it's easier to only have to roleplay one.
I'll be missing the first session in September. Just as a heads up.
Okay. The 10th, the 24th, and then the 7th you'll miss. Okay, that's fine. Just remind me as we get closer, and that'll be fine. So, all right, folks. Yeah. I gotta come up with like a special name for the mine. I didn't really have one. Maybe
I
there's
think
a nickname.
the mine is sufficient. It's
Maybe there's a nickname that the prisoners all throw around that's not official, but it kind of gives you an insight on what it's really like. But this is kind of what it's really like. It's digging holes, busting up rocks, and getting in fights with other prisoners. Although you guys did just take out a freaking ogre, and a whole bunch of people just saw it. So plan on that following you around here.
It's the your mine.
It's the your mine.
Get out.
All right, on that note, folks, we'll
Go
see you
to
guys
your
in 2
room.
weeks.
Okay.
See you guys later.
Bye.
Adios.
Bye.